don't feel anymore. Nothing is real, nothing is stirring in my soul. Take down, and I hope that I can swim right now. Turn me into them.
The sounds of Swim by Smile Empty Soul bring us in to the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report.
Sports in black and white.
A presentation of the Not to Network Podcast Network. I am your host of the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report. I am Harry Broadhurst. Joining me as per usual, he is the DSDO, the anchorman, the HNIC of the AWP podcast division. He is Erik Watkins. And we are starting early tonight because it is a live presentation of BWSR covering the Thursday night football Jaguars-Jets game. Okay, why are you not wearing a Jaguars shirt, though?
I mean, I would have to dig in again. Wait a minute, I thought they got rid of Fireman Ed. A, I would have to dig to find it, and B, stole the old logo. And I didn't think to put a Jaguars jersey on my Christmas list for this year because, well, reasons, but that'll be rectified.
I mean, you guys have been kind of the sucksers the last couple of years.
You're not wrong at all.
That being said, ask Dak Prescott how he feels about you guys right now. It's a hell of a win last Sunday. Speaking of hell of a wins, Buffalo managed to pull one off on Saturday as well with that Snow Bowl fourth quarter / overtime against Miami. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about those a little bit more when we pour one out for the homers. However, we start the show how we always start the show here on BWSR. It's time.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Where'd he come from?
This is now the Broadhurst-Watkins Espinosa Sports Report.
Sports in black and white?
Sports in black. Sports in black and whiter.
Because how the hell are you going to have... I mean, we already know who the resident Duval expert is around here. But we got to have a resident Jets expert as well.
And unfortunately, Nielsen wasn't available.
So I'm crashing your little Christmas shindig here, and I'm going to match Fitz and wear my ugly Christmas sweater on air as well.
I mean, it makes sense that we would have both of you guys represented here. Kickoff has just happened, 13:36 left in the first. Scoreless, Jacksonville with the ball. Although you're starting left tackle.
Wait, what the? No.
Yes.
Fumble.
Sack, yes.
Fumble. Was it recovered by the Jets?
You son of a bitch.
It was recovered by the Jets.
Oh, yeah, that's a sack for a fumble recovery, baby.
You know,
that is the textbook definition of a turnover.
You know, I should have just kept my mouth shut. Oh no, you don't have to worry about mentioning.
Yeah, no, you had to go and put the headphone warning Duval up on screen now, didn't you? Well, guess what? One, I can Duval better than you, motherfucker. And two, Jets, let's fucking go.
Mother. Come on, Zach Wilson. Be the Zach Wilson that I know and love and fuck this up horribly. I shouldn't have mentioned our left tackle being out for the rest of the season.
There's a reason why 4 out of 5.
Format? What format?
This is what happens when I crash your show, motherfuckers. Hey, this is what happens when 4 of the 5 Thursday night football desks say the Jets are going to win. Okay.
It's early.
Now, we get the Rugrats clip of we've lost control of the podcast,
We're gonna be here for this
for the time being.
We're gonna be here for this entire game. Legit. There is no all sports edition of BWSR. We're gonna cut the show at halftime and then pick back up for the second half. So before we get any,
I can make some producer things happen so that we can have a be right back screen for halftime.
well, I don't want to sit off air for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I said we can sit on air for 20 minutes AFK and then, come back after halftime. It's better than restarting the broadcast, trust me.
I mean, I guess
I look over at the other person who knows about these things for a little bit of support here.
All I have to do is make some minor changes if you're willing to make that happen. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Thank you, Cisco.
Jeez, Wilson got smacked there.
I mean, okay, it goes both ways. We can smack your quarterback and get a smackman.
Sit that Mormon cougar ass down on the ground.
We'll put three up on the board. No big deal.
Is your kicker still Zerline?
Yes.
The former Cowboy, right?
Yes.
I thought so. 3-0 Jets.
Zerline?
Yes, the former Cowboy.
Yeah. No, I was trying to remember his first name.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah,
Greg the leg. 10 minutes, 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Jets lead 3-0. As I was saying, we now get to the actual format that we have because, God damn it, somebody has to focus around here. Oh, did I mention my nickname on this network? The Voice of Reason. Allegedly.
Yeah, that may or may not be in the description of tonight's podcast on YouTube.
Hold on. Actually, you know what I am tonight? Hold on. Hold, please.
But wait, there's more.
There we go.
That works.
Instead of a moderator of sorts, I am a moderator in shorts.
Okay, that's all right. You got me there, sir. That's pretty good.
We start the show how we always start the show, minus the arguing with studs and duds. Erik, I got a doozy, and it has an NFL tie-in for my college stud. Because my stud this week comes from college, and a new NCAA bowl game record. Frank Gore Jr., have yourself a day, young man. $329 rushing yards.
Ooh. Well, damn me.
2 rushing touchdowns. And he decided to Tim Tebow it and throw a touchdown pass as well.
Even better than his daddy.
In Southern Miss's 48-34 victory over, I'm going to blank on this one. I just saw it too because I didn't pull it up because I have the thing pulled up for Are You Serious a little bit later.
I got you. Please hold. Rice.
That's what I was almost about to say. Because it's wait, is that conference versus conference there? Aren't they both in CUSA?
That's a good question.
I'm pretty sure that might be at large versus at large because of conference. Maybe certain conferences didn't meet bowl eligibility requirements.
Nope, Southern Miss is in the Sun Belt.
Oh, that is right. They moved this year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is right. Okay, so there you go. But yeah, 329 rushing yards, a new NCAA FBS bowl record for the son of Frank Gore, the longtime NFL running back. Where did he go to college, Erik?
You
have yourself a day, young man, and congratulations on the new record. I'm not the only one throwing out huge numbers here from my stud for the week, Mr. Watkins.
Of course not. Now, it's one thing extraordinary to run the ball for 329 yards in a game. But how about this? 36 of 55,
Yeesh.
497 yards, 4 touchdowns, and an interception. You would call that a pretty damn good day, right?
Fun fact, the guy that you're mentioning, I've mentioned him as my stud earlier this season.
Well, now it's my turn to mention. Have yourself a day in pulling off an upset in the New Orleans Bowl. Western Kentucky quarterback Austin Reed. A 44-23 win against the other Jaguars from South Alabama. Boy, is that a bit of a deep cut given this show's history. If you know, you know.
And you'll know why. And you'll know why I'm laughing. I just talked to him earlier today, actually. What up, Jason Teasley? We miss you.
And oh wow, we've got some comments chiming in. Northwestern of Iowa winning their third NAIA title thanks to 28 second half points.
Who did they beat?
Kaiser University of Florida.
Womp, womp, womp. Oh, wait.
The 35-25 final.
We have a certain sound effect for this.
Yes, as a matter of fact, we do.
Much obliged. Bowl season has been interesting, if not entertaining at times, because God knows when we pour one out for the homers later, oof. And when I say oof, I mean oof. Yikes. Erik, I'm a little disappointed. My dad disappointed me. I mean, they disappointed everybody, but they especially disappointed me.
I mean, they disappointed you. They didn't disappoint me whatsoever, but continue.
No, you know why they disappointed me? Because the NFL record for largest comeback in a single game was 32 points.
Yes.
I take you back to Wild Card Weekend. The Buffalo Bills at the Houston Oilers in a game where Jim Kelly gets hurt and Frank Wright has to come in.
Other way around. That was in Buffalo. Woo! Damn, that would have been a sweet catch.
Houston at Buffalo?
That would have been a better interception.
Yeah, that was on your home turf. The game was broadcast on NBC, the opening weekend of the 92 NFL playoffs.
Fun fact, if you search for the comeback on the NFL app, the full game is available on there.
Worth a watch.
Especially if you've never seen it before. Just NFL history. It's still the largest playoff comeback of all time. It is no longer the largest comeback ever in NFL history because my dud for this week has to be the Indianapolis Colts. And realistically, at a time like this, there are 3 words that you say. You know what those 3 words are, Erik? What the fuck?
I was going to say, high noon Kirk, or, 4 words, 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins, but...
Okay, but 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins didn't do shit in the first half because it was 33-0 at halftime.
I'm well aware. I said I woke up
in
Bizarro World. Yes,
I heard a name.
Yes, you did hear a name.
Minnesota scores on its first drive of the second half to cut it to 33-7. Indianapolis kicks a field goal to make it 36-7.
I heard a name.
Indianapolis does not score again the rest of the game and proceeds to lose 39-36, thus setting the NFL record for largest deficit ever overcome in a single game, 33 points by the Minnesota Vikings, and fuck Kirk Cousins.
Yes, you did hear that correctly. Fuck Kirk Cousins!
I mean,
What?
Hey, I put the headphone warning on the screen there before I did that. You can't say anything.
I mean, come on now. You're hating on him. You're hating on him, and I actually have about 3 squid bits, so that helps. You're hating on him
Loop
because
effect is real.
you picked Indianapolis. You're hating on him because they didn't cover the spread.
No, I'm hating on him because fuck him in general. I picked Indianapolis because fuck Kirk Cousins.
And then he proceeds to be the first quarterback since at least 1991 to throw for over 400 yards in the second half. Matt Ryan is now on
what's up with Matt Ryan being on the wrong side of...
We'll get to that in a second. Let Erik finish, please.
Yes, Matt Ryan. He is now on the wrong side of two.
Hey, I can have studs and duds too.
Yes,
I know how this show works. I kind of have to oversee it because of
Squid bit. I'm using the wrong thing. There we go. Squid bit.
I mean, nope. I'm not going to go there. Really wanted to. But anyways. Yes, Matt Ryan is now on the losing end of 2 of the 5 largest comebacks in NFL history, the largest in the Super Bowl, and now the largest in the regular season.
Can I top that with one of my own?
Go for it.
The Colts themselves as a franchise are now on the losing end of 2 of the 7 largest comebacks in NFL history. There was a top 10 list on ESPN in the article after the game.
Oh. Yeah. 417 yards through 4 touchdown passes, a walk-off field goal in overtime.
Okay, you were saying, Brian? By all means, continue.
Yeah, no, freaking Matt Ryan done of the season there, man. How the hell do you blow that big of a lead?
Hold on. You want to know how big of a dud Matt Ryan is? He now finds himself on the bench for Monday Night Footballs as Nick Foles gets the start.
I swear.
I'm not even mad at that.
When it comes,
that is a logically acceptable consequence.
I swear
for his performance in that game.
Something about any team that was ever associated with Frank Reich, time is a flat circle.
It's a PWG wrestling show, actually. They actually called it Time is a Flat Circle. You know what it is, Erik? Here's a reference for you. It's a Jeremy Baramy.
If I could have a moment to have a stud, though, I think I would have to give my stud to Brock Purdy.
Mr. Irrelevant making good.
Like, think about it. He goes from Mr. Irrelevant, and he has, it's not like the performance he had over Tampa Bay, sure, but he still had a pretty good performance last week over Seattle, getting that win 21-13, 17 for 26, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns.
8:33 p.m. JTN comment, please, Erik. Kudos to Mr. Broadhurst on the early lead at Bowl Mania at 9-4. Erik and I are tied at 7-6. Brian is 6-3. That's because Brian didn't pick a third of the games. Who is Patrick Ketza? Patrick Ketza is my former...
Brian was late by a week because somebody was supposed to remind him to get his picks in.
Who is Patrick Ketza? Patrick Ketza is the guy that I used to do Wrestling Unwrapped with. He is one of my best friends. And I sent him the link to join the group as well, in addition to sending it to a few other people who obviously did not have the opportunity to do so. There's your answer.
Which reminds me, I need to go check on the bowl games.
Jacksonville ties it up 3-3. Jets with the ball. 7 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Erik, you're dud.
Travis Etienne, keep on doing what you're doing. B, my dud. And I'm not saying this because it cost me the week. I'm saying this on general principle.
But also because it cost you the week.
Look, to be fair, they still would have had to go for the 2-point conversion and everything else had this happened. It was all in the eyes of the football gods. Not to mention, you winning the week is absolutely fine with me, even
Two
though
in a row. 2 in a row. 2 in a row.
though I have been getting some potentially premature concession speeches as far as season standings overall, I will take my leadership into this week with grace and humility. The referees on that admitted blown call in the Giants-Commanders game. We talk in depth about pass interference. We have talked ad infinitum about pass interference. Some of the bitch that pass interference. Do not tell me otherwise.
Okay, so we're not the biggest fans of Chris Collinsworth on this show.
Now
But
there's
even
a
Chris-
guy.
But even Chris Collinsworth was calling out bullshit on that, and that was a guy who played wide receiver in the NFL. If you have
Conklin.
if you have a guy who played wide receiver, the fuck is he talking about?
Hey, he had a good pass and a good outside route there, and he got
Oh.
pushed out of bounds.
JTN's referring to last week's Jets game in the chat.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh, come
referring to
on,
why
come
I was.
on.
I just saw the play to Tyler Conklin.
Yeah, that was a good play. Caught him wide open on the outside slant.
Jets and Jaguars territory, 1st and 10 on the Jaguars 45.
Ever living shit kind of zone defensive shift was that?
All right, but going back to my
one.
Collinsworth point, when you have a guy who played wide receiver in the NFL calling out a blatantly missed defensive pass interference call,
yeah.
because I mean the wide receivers are going to want every call they can get, but Collinsworth is somebody who's notoriously sided with defenses as an announcer.
Mm-hmm.
And while I think that we've done too much to protect offensive players in the NFL, you can't trap a guy's arm against his body and then not throw a flag for pass interference.
Not whatsoever.
Erik and I talked about this in private on Discord to some good extent on how that was an absolute bullshit call.
Looking like false start on the Jets coming back. Either false start or illegal formation. It's the same hand signal.
The hell kind of wildcat was that? Oh, that wasn't a wildcat. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that name in a while.
Streveler?
Yep.
But, I mean, if you go back and look at that play, right, his arm got interlocked with the defender's arm, like, real low.
Basically, like, here, I'll show you guys. Basically, the defender's arm had his hand pinned against his arm and went to try to go up for the... Like, I picked the Giants,
and the pass interference is basically any sort of intended, like,
deliberate hindrance.
Any deliberate hindrance that limits the ability to catch the ball.
Deliberate hindrance on one's ability to gather possession of a ball.
Damn, that would have been a sweet interception.
I mean, I've never played on a professional level, right? I played in high school. I didn't play college. I didn't play NFL, obviously. But as a wide receiver in high school, even I thought that was a bullshit call, right? And I'm like Collinsworth, I want every call I can get. But
almost certain that's going to be a hold on the Jets.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Because Wilson was scrambling for his life.
Oh, yeah.
Pass interference.
OPI. I think they called
OPI on Moore.
On Elijah Moore, the former Panther.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he pushed him off, but it wouldn't have mattered because the ball was thrown way over his head anyways.
Yeah, they would have deemed that uncatchable.
Punt, man. No, literally, that's the punter's name. Man.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Just shank one.
Almost got it. That might be running into the kicker.
I think it
Flag.
is. Yep, there's the flag running into the kicker.
But is it
Okay.
running into or roughing? Because there is a difference.
I
Running is
know.
5, roughing is 15 in the first.
I think
think
it's
that-
going to be the 5. 'cause
Yeah, I
see
saw the ref hold up the 5 fingers.
Yeah.
Yep, because he didn't necessarily hold that kicking leg in the air too much, so it does look like running into.
I think you can pull the Studs and Duds logo here. Real quick as we finish up though for that.
Penalty declined.
Yeah, because the kick went all the way down to like the 6-yard line. So they would have had to repunt it. You can't penalize half the distance on a punt.
Yeah.
So they would have had to repunt it and with the extra 5, and that increases the risk of putting it into the end zone for a touchback. 3-3, Jaguars getting the ball back, stuck at their own 6. Man.
Oh,
5'11", 198 punter, 3 years out of Texas A&M, Braden Mann.
so their
courtesy of
punter and
Nielsen.
kicker are damn near the same size. Both 198 pounds, 5'11", 1 foot.
But as I
11
was saying,
11th season out of Missouri Western, Greg Zerline. All right, continue.
but yeah, no, as I was saying, with him getting the arm hooked underneath his elbow like that, that was flat out pass interference. So I am just utterly shocked that was a no call. That was a better no call than some of Vince's no cells over the years.
Erik, I think the Little Caesars curse is real. They're airing a Stafford commercial again. It's the new Madden curse.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but
1 for 1.
You want to fill me in on this? Because this is the first I'm hearing about a Little Caesars curse.
So
As
after
my
winning
foot has
this,
been handed to me.
after winning the Super Bowl last year, Matthew Stafford did a series of commercials for Little Caesars since they took over.
Of them, yeah.
They took over as the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Yeah, Stafford's
Right.
season's over, and possibly his career. Post-concussive syndrome.
that is legit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I knew he was having some injury issues, but I hadn't heard that it's bad to that point now.
There's talk going around that Stafford's career might be over. Not confirmed, but there is talk going around. All right, so let's move forward. Erik,
Because Eating on Air is also a network exclusive.
I kind of want to save the last topic that we have because of the fact of the length. The next segment, I kind of want to save it because of the length of the discussion we're going to have with
Okay.
with the NIL thing.
Okay, no problem at all.
So we're going to go ahead and bump that to the end of the broadcast. We can have that conversation while we're still watching the game as well.
Okay, that works for me.
All
I
right.
was just setting something up. Ryan, remember how you said that somebody might be changing plans as far as having a Christmas special?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Details to be confirmed. Ho, 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 is all I'm going to say.
What is Maurice's outfit before Raw on Monday? Never mind. Moving forward.
Is this directly related to that conversation we had before the show about certain things on Maine or on
Yes.
corporate?
Yes,
Oh,
it
boy.
is.
Oh boy.
It's always good when you can call in favors.
I'm happy to hear this. Standards and practices may not be happy to hear this. The main disembodied voice of doom is indifferent at present.
What
More
was
information is needed.
that about ho ho hos?
Along those
Family
lines.
show?
Well, no, it's okay because I can steal from them because they keep stealing from me. Erik,
I mean-
it happened again.
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, at this point, if they keep gimmicking,
Are they stealing from you like Riot has been stealing from Parallel Convergence?
Yes.
I don't know if you were listening to the show last week. I don't know how your schedule turned out, but a couple of days prior to last week's episode, the announcers for Monday Night Raw were having a conversation. Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick. Kevin Patrick asked Corey Graves what Rhea Ripley was saying to Dom Mysterio. Corey Graves' response was, "I can't possibly answer that. There are kids watching." To which Kevin Patrick looked at Corey Graves and said, family show. And then this particular person said, "You motherfucker." Or something along those lines is how that conversation went. All right. Erik, I'm a survivor. You know what the absolute most delicious...
Are you really a survivor, though, Harry?
I mean, are any of us right now, to be fair? I did lose
stuck in a room with me. Are you really a survivor right now?
No, actually, this jackass is why I'm not a survivor currently. The team currently playing is why I'm not a survivor.
Which one?
Jacksonville. Because I picked Dallas as my survivor last week.
I was going to say, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that evil on the Jets.
Oh, no, he pointed at the correct person.
Yeah, I see that now.
Up is easier than right. Anyways.
I keep making sure I look this way when I want to stare somebody down.
I feel like the obvious choice for me this week has to be the Homer pick, so I'm going to go with it. Give me the Buffalo Bills over the Chicago Bears.
All right.
Mr. Watkins, I'm a survivor.
I mean, how many times have I said about 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins?
Oh, Christ on a cracker jack.
And I'm going to say
you know what?
this.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm doing something to you, damn it.
What are you going to do to me? Yeah, they're playing the Giants, who were lucky to get away with a win last week. They go to U.S. Bank Stadium. Give me the Vikings.
Would you like to announce your survivor pick on air, Mr. Espinoza? Since you're here.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking
currently active game, not eligible.
No shit.
Confirming.
I kind of want to give it to Kansas over Seattle. I know that's a pretty meaningful game for both of them, but I think Kansas City can walk. Well, Seattle's still in this. This matters for the playoffs for Seattle, doesn't it?
Half a game behind Washington for 7th, tied with the Detroit Lions.
That's what I thought.
Oh, that was beautiful.
I'm thinking Kansas City's going to win it and knock Seattle out.
Now, see, this is a little bit more of a case of lower hanging fruit that most likely will not be rotten. Unlike the last time that you assumed Kansas City was lower hanging fruit.
A little bit of lower hanging fruit, sure. But I'm going to give it. I think Seattle will give Kansas a run for their money. I mean, they've had their fair share of trying to upset people this season, but I think Kansas City can come through with that.
Since he's active in the chat, go ahead and pull up his survivor pick as well, Erik.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if a certain someone would check their messages.
John is taking Cleveland over New Orleans, although to be fair, New Orleans is still in the midst of a atrocious NFC South race.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's still Andy Dalton at quarterback.
Erik, are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I have a stat that is about to blow your mind. Are you ready? Not a squid bit because this one's apparent to anybody who can read an NFL standing. The Detroit Lions have more wins than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do this year.
Who the hell would have seen that coming?
Not high.
Yeah, he's finally got the seasoning right for biting the kneecaps.
I got to tell you, they talked about it on Football Night in America last week. Of the 3 teams that are fighting for that 7th spot, the Lions are actually the prohibitive favorites. None of the teams they play the rest of the way are over 500.
I mean, they've got Carolina, they host Chicago, and they're at Green Bay.
Green Bay to close the season, and this is a Green Bay team that could get knocked out this week with a loss to Miami.
Honestly, hey, a 9-8, maybe 10-7 Detroit Lions team? Who would have thought that?
I mean, granted, their reward is having to play division rival Minnesota in the first round, probably.
Ah,
Fuck Kirk Cousins. Fuck Kirk Cousins.
See, it depends on the time of that game. If they make that as the 1 o'clock game,
Scroll the counter.
if they make that as the 1 o'clock game, Saturday or Sunday, it's a problem. If they can get the NFL to do them a favor and have that as either the 4:25 or 8:30 game, I think Detroit can be just fine.
Look, there's a reason why we have to have this goddamn fucking 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins counter now, okay?
Hi, everybody.
Oh, Harry, like you expected this to be a normal show.
Am I the
Why
only one
can't
that
we-
can't hear Harry?
No, you're not the only one. And it's weird
He's
because
not
he's not
muted,
listed as
so
muted.
something up with his headset or something.
Broadhurst will not be heard tonight.
Nielsen, this is all your fault.
Mic check, mic check.
There we
There we
go.
go.
All right, yeah, my headphones.
Mike White is injured and out of the game. There's your mic check.
Kick him the fuck off.
Okay.
Okay, he can come back now. Because
Hey!
actually his timing is impeccable, Eric. It's time to pour one out for the homers. And allow me to guest Gator on this one because there's only one word to describe the way that they played.
At least the scoring streak continues.
All I'm saying is this: you can't get blown out in a bowl game if you don't even make one.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but Alberta's face palming over the effort
I see it.
over this past Saturday.
Oh, something the audience needs to be aware of. There's a wager on the Jets-Jaguars game, isn't there?
Yeah, somebody only gets somebody a nice, delicious sandwich in between or in betwixt Christmas and New Year's.
Nobody asked me if I wanted to bet on any games this year. Y'all suck.
You're not local.
No lettuce, no mayo, add ranch.
DoorDash delivers everywhere, sir.
Yeah, but Blue Boy only has one remaining location.
You've never experienced the joy of a super club from Blue
We
Boy
are
Sandwiches in Jacksonville.
We
Not
are
sponsored, but support small business.
well, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but we can't be bought.
But we
No,
can
no. We don't. No. Stop right fucking there. We're not using that gimmick with Blue Boy. This is legitimate. We're supporting small fucking business because the place is that damn good.
I stand by what I
This
said.
is
We
not
can't,
actual. This is not actual shilling.
we're not shilling, but we can't because we can't be bought.
We sure can be rented.
Damn sure can be rented.
Oh, don't go looking at me, okay?
So, welcome to the Espinoza-Watkins Sports Report. Come on, do the bit. Bits and bites,
Sports-
come on, where is it?
Sports and bits and bites.
Thank you. We joined you live, the resident Duval expert and the resident Jets expert. Already in progress.
Oh, damn, Travis. But that's
Yeah, he took a hit, man. He is not looking good. All right, let's get Harry and.
How rude.
Don't tempt me. I'll go watch wrestling.
I
have no dog.
No, you want to watch this game, Harry. You know you do.
I have no dog in this fight. I'm sitting atop the AFC. I could care less about you plebeians.
Mutter, mutter, Bills, mutter, mutter, wagons,
Everybody
mutter,
boo
mutter,
this man.
circling.
I will say you guys are.
Both of you.
I will say that your Jets are one of my 3 losses, however, unfortunately. Jets, Dolphins, Vikings.
again 1 o'clock. Kirk Cousins. I'll
Mother,
add that to the myself.
Oh, I was gonna say.
this mother. Anyways,
I can't go 2 minutes and try to get a bite of my damn sandwich in.
And this is
Stop.
what I ate mine before hopping in.
all right, back to the pour one out for the homers here. Yeah, the Gators looked absolutely pathetic in that game against Oregon. Go ahead and put me and Nielsen on the screen here real quick. Gators looked absolutely pathetic on Saturday.
Ron Zook could have coached that better.
I don't think it was a Billy Napier problem, though. I think the problem was the loss of Anthony Richardson having declared for the draft, the loss of Jalen Kitna being a gigantic fucking douchebag, and then throwing out what amounted to a redshirt freshman quarterback making his first collegiate start against a defense that was amongst the top 25 in the country on a number 14 overall ranked team. We were outgunned.
You could even say, yeah, that happened.
We'll get to so that happened later. There's a full-length discussion coming in, and me and Erik are going to handle that one, the two of us, because it's going to be a doozy.
Yeah, I'm not pleased with that bowl game performance.
Much obliged, Mr. Watkins. Anyways, realistic expectations for the offseason, any?
I think this year is going to become essentially what the Ron Zook years were for the Gators. We're in the recruiting zone. We're not in the performance era.
I'll agree with that.
That next wave.
Yeah,
we shouldn't even made it this far this year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's a case of Billy Napier getting Billy Napier level talent around him rather than dealing with the talent that was left over from the Dan Mullen era. And don't get me wrong, the Mullen era was successful in occasions in Florida. 2 SEC championship game appearances, lost both of those games to Alabama. I digress.
Bama.
But the point being is that we were able to make it to the SEC championship game back-to-back years under Dan Mullen, including in the COVID-shortened 2020 season.
Yeah.
People don't realize that we were able to have that success under Mullen, and then the one bad season in 2021, losing a Florida record 7 games inside of the SEC, is what spelled doom for Mullen.
And there was a lot of teams in the SEC just coming out of nowhere. Even, I hate to say it, Vandy.
Yeah, I think this is not going to sit well with the casual Gator fan, knowing that the loss to Vanderbilt happened, and the loss for the first time since the late 80s in Nashville at that.
Yeah. There comes a point with a Gator coach, there's getting your feet wet, and then there's realizing you're in the swamp. Your feet were already wet. Now they're soaked.
And this is one of the more demanding fan bases in college football, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the fact that this is a program buried in tradition that is, I think I saw a stat on Winsipedia.com, that when it comes to winning percentage all time, the Gators are the 17th ranked team in college football. Guess who number 18 is?
Who?
Miami of Florida. We are literally mere percentage points ahead of the Hurricanes.
You shut up. You.
All right, you can bring everybody back in.
You.
Couple of big,
You mad?
A couple of big announcements on signing day for Florida or for Miami of Florida, including a pair of 5-star recruits announcing their intentions.
I mean, for what everybody keeps mentioning as far as the transfer portal losing 18 players, especially in key spots like at linebacker, this is where Mario Cristobal shines.
Sorry, special guest appearance.
One of the very few things Harry and I agree on are the Gators.
I got to slide the mattress back over once I'm done here. He's falling in the hole between the wall and the mattress.
So he's down in a hole, as it were.
I mean, it's basically the state of the franchise at this point. All right, let's move over to the National Football League here. We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. I start with the man to my top left here.
Touchdown, Jaguars.
Funny, exactly how we won last week, thanks to a late interception in overtime.
Walk-off game-winning 48-yard interception return off of Dak Prescott as the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Dallas Cowboys 40-34 in overtime. Mr. Watkins, I know you took an opportunity to look at the schedule and you were hoping to find 8 places where you could make up some ground on the Tennessee Titans. Something tells me the Dallas Cowboy game was not one of those games you imagined it happening.
Absolutely not.
All right, Patterson's on for the extra point.
Go ahead, Eric.
Up, over, straight down the middle. It's good.
All right, I need to refresh my feed. So go ahead, Eric. 10-3 Jaguars.
With 11:26 left in the second quarter. We talked about this. I talked about it with Randy in depth on last week's episode of R&R Sports Report. He and I were total agreement. Both the Titans and the Jaguars would lose to the Cowboys. Both the Titans and Jaguars would beat the Texans. So it came down to Tennessee versus the Chargers in this game tonight. The fact that we not only got the Chargers win, but a win of our own sets us up in absolute perfect position going into Week 18 as long as we can continue to handle business, especially against Houston next week ourselves.
Because it's Tennessee-Dallas this week?
Philadelphia-Dallas.
Philadelphia-Dallas, Tennessee-Dallas next week.
Yep.
Okay, that is right. I did see it. And did you see the big announcement about the Philadelphia-Dallas game as well? The sprained shoulder for Jalen Hurts, he might not play.
From what I've heard, he was officially ruled out, and it's gonna be Minshew Mania in Philadelphia come Saturday.
Well, if there's anything that Philadelphia fans can take hope in, it's that Jacksonville quarterback has beaten the Cowboys this season already.
I mean, you're not exactly wrong whatsoever. They lost to a backup quarterback when they faced the Cowboys. Now they can get vengeance with a backup quarterback of their own.
That is right.
There's a reason why, fantasy-wise, I dropped Dak.
That is right. Cooper Rush beat the Eagles earlier in the season.
On Monday Night Football, no less.
All right, so let's talk about what happened on Saturday night.
Another possible injured Jet.
Let's talk about what happened Saturday night as the Buffalo Bills played the Miami Dolphins in a game that was supposed to be the new Snow Bowl, but didn't actually turn into a snow globe game until the fourth quarter.
I mean, to be fair, your fans really stepped up with that snowball sort of atmosphere.
Okay, so here's my thing. Like, I get the whole idea.
Maybe they should avoid having to have the refs call it out on the PA, though.
And that's my thing. Like, if you guys want to throw snowballs in the stands and whatnot at each other, that's fine. But throwing items on the field, regardless of what those items happen to be, is crossing a line. That being said, the celebrational fling of snowballs throughout the stadium upon the field goal, the game winner by Tyler Bass in overtime, was a sight to behold. And the best part of that was the slip and slide celebration by Bass that you could see Stephon Diggs join in from the sideline.
I mean, the only thing that would have made it funnier, especially tying in the other events of the weekend, was had they done that similar celebration with the different dildos and similar apparati. But again, you can't win them all.
Brady wasn't in Buffalo. We only throw penises at him.
Okay, fair point.
It's not. Wait, I'm surprised I didn't hear anything. Snow plows on the field.
Well, again, it wasn't a Patriots game, so.
Did you see what the Bills did, though? I don't know if you guys actually got to watch the game on Saturday. So they had a timeout in hand, so they sent the field goal unit out. Literally you see every member of the Bills line on the ground sweeping snow out of the way to give Tyler Bass a clean kicking.
And they were about that on the podcast. They're like, well, the NFL rule says the only thing they can use to clear the snow is their hands and feet.
Because of the snowplow game.
And that you're not allowed to use the towels either, because apparently there was an issue with that a couple of seasons ago that somebody used like one of the quarterback hand towels and put it down and was using it to wipe off an area with the snow.
Yeah. So the guys, it was funny. You saw the offensive line acting like literal dogs, just. And you could see.
We're not talking about a Browns game.
You know what it
was hilarious, but it was.
You know what my biggest concern was? You could see Bass doing his warm-up kicks, and I'm half expecting him to go full Charlie Brown on one of them. 1, 2, swipe. Ah! Like it was that.
As funny as it sounds, or as fucked up as it sounds, I would have laughed my ass off if that happened.
I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have laughed.
Really seriously hurt with that.
I would love to
you
see
seriously get hurt with that. Like you fuck up your tailbone, something that your lower spine, something fierce from a good slam down like that.
I've broken my tailbone.
I'd love that to be orchestrated though as a fake field goal play, and have the holder just swipe the ball like Lucy.
They actually did that. If you ever saw the movie The Replacements, they actually did it.
Footsteps, Falco.
Exactly, and you had the kicker wind up breaking his arm because he owed those guys money, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help you out." Swipe.
All right, so 10-3, the Jets are going backwards, 2nd and 21 here on the ensuing drive following the Jacksonville touchdown.
Well, they just caught a false start penalty. Oh, deep throw into traffic, and it's batted away.
Batted away is generous. He grabbed him by the shoulder pads there, but sure, we'll go with batted away.
That's what we call batted away here in Duval. It's different. Besides, we're in Jersey. You really think that we don't know better?
Is it raining?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't been watching the weather report for the entire eastern half of the country right now, you got rain, you got snow, and you got cold. Pick one of the three.
I live in Ohio. I will remind you.
They were talking about the weather on the pregame.
And it was
already coming down something good.
Our high temperature tomorrow will be 18 degrees.
So you will be next in line for your taste of the Greenland block.
Harry?
Christmas Eve, it'll be 9.
Harry, I went out and made an errand run today. My car said 73. My phone then went off, freeze watch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're saying points slightly north of us, like the next county up north of us, are looking at 20-degree lows through the weekend. And for Erik, that's the Nature Coast, like Citrus River,
our good friend Tim Zone,
Crystal River, etc.
Yeah, hard freeze warning. Got that alert today. We're
also
going to have lows in the 20s.
Your
pipes.
Your punt returner almost. Hold on. Game update. Your punt returner almost fumbled that one away there, Mr. Watkins.
Yeah, special teams has been kind of a coin flip for us this season.
Special teams.
Hey, at least we catch our fumbles
But
and we're doing
they're
it on special
saying-
teams instead of, running into our own offensive linemen. Continue.
The show is a mess. Go ahead, Brian.
They're saying that we're going to have the second coldest Christmas on record here in the Tampa Bay area, behind a high of 38 in 84.
We're looking at
a high of 50.
We're looking at a high of 14 on Sunday, I think I saw.
Yeah, but that's normal for you.
Yeah, we're looking at a high of 44. Coldest Christmas on record since 83. And yeah,
they were saying it was either 83 or 80.
It
was either 83 or 84 for us as well. Remember?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 83 if you're saying 83.
Forecasting background here. Those in deep South Florida would know 83, 84 is the winter that Miami hit a freeze. Yeah. Only time ever.
Well, doesn't everything shut down there when that happens?
Yeah.
I mean,
because y'all don't have the equipment
to
get rid of snow removal and stuff.
It's worse. Atlanta thinks they've got a bad.
Actually, you'd be surprised.
It's really coming down over there.
Our airports, because of some FAA mandate or something, the airports have snow removal equipment and de-icers.
Well, yeah, the airports do, but not everywhere else.
You see, when your entire state is made up of sand, you just shovel from the side of the road onto the road, and now your roads are sanded.
I mean, in essence, as long as you got the sand at the beach, which, if it's a good hurricane season, you won't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm. You can also get some strange ocean effect or Gulf effect snows, much to be confused with a certain lake effect.
Welcome to the Broadhurst-Watkins weather report.
And with that rail check completed, thank you, Mr. Voice the Reason.
Hold on. You did it. You.
Oh, that's right. We do have one of those.
Yeah.
Meteorology in black and white?
I mean...
No, meteorology in highs and lows.
Okay, that's clever.
Monkey.
I do have to say one thing about this game to get us back on track, though.
There was a vote being on the screen yet. Does anybody here not remember Lilacs? Thank you.
It's been a while.
Thank you.
But seriously, though, coming into this year, do you think either of these teams would have really been under pressure to perform?
Well, a certain somebody that's an actual official co-host on this particular podcast did predict that his team was going to finish over 500.
If everything went
I did indeed say at the beginning of this season, I said, look, I would not be surprised that a 500 season may be slightly better.
I did say,
yes,
I meant Watkins.
but you
previews 9-8. If everything went well, 9-8, a cheeky second place in the division was in the cards.
I said
now
Buffalo.
That 9-8 could win the division.
I said Buffalo would go 14-3, and we still have a chance to do that.
And Brian and I were both saying about 500-ish.
I said Buffalo would go 14-3 and be the number one overall seed in the AFC. As of right now, we are currently 11-3, the number one overall seed in the AFC.
Oh, Travis, you magnificent. Mwah. Just we keep managing him so that way he doesn't get hurt. He's already run the ball about 15, 16 times.
Fun fact, I actually think the loser of this game might be eliminated from the playoffs.
Not necessarily on our side.
No, you guys still have a shot at the
if
division.
The Jets
Yep.
lose.
If
If
the
the
Jets lose, I think
we're
they might
out of
be
the
out.
playoffs. No,
Because-
I believe they said that in the pre-show. If the Jets lose, they're out. But if Jacksonville loses, they've still got an outside shot.
Well, Jacksonville would need Tennessee to lose.
Oh,
Or-
oh. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you're not in New York, Evan Ingram. This is why we brought you down here.
Oh, that's who that is. I was wondering who. Wow, that is a whole lot of grass on his jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Jets are in fourth in the AFC East thanks to a measly 5-5 conference record.
And this would be 5-6 if you guys lose to Jacksonville, and it would put you behind Jacksonville, New England, Miami, the Chargers, and somebody.
And that's enough wild cards.
Somebody else for the wild cards.
And even worse than that, I know this man a sandwich.
Baltimore. The other one that I couldn't think of there for a second was Baltimore. Because Baltimore's currently the top wild card in the AFC because Cincinnati took over the division lead with Baltimore's loss to Cleveland. And then it's the Chargers and then the Dolphins at 6 and 7. Patriots, Jets, Jacksonville for just outside right now. 7 and 7, 7 and 7, 6 and 8.
I swear, y'all are giving me the hopium, and I am taking it with glee.
All right, Mr. Watkins, I do believe we need the screen to ourselves for this particular segment.
Score update,
Really?
no change.
Yes, really. Yes, really. Really.
Mother stealing my.
He's going to come back on and yell at you.
I'm prepared for that.
Okay, just
No, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to take over the show. So, what's the next segment, Harry?
one that you don't participate in. Because we have it a season long, so I need Erik back. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Erik is no longer available.
Get back here, Mr. Watkins.
There we go.
All right. The Interrobang makes its weekly appearance. Are you serious? All right, so I'm going to warn everybody in the interest of getting this show on the air early tonight in order to actually do live coverage of the Jets-Jaguars Thursday night game. We did not do our picks in advance. So this might take a few seconds for us to figure out here. Just giving you a heads up. You want to go first or second for underdogs? You can have first pick. You can have first pick for underdogs or first pick for favorites.
Okay, because I've got my first pick of my favorites already.
Then go first in favorites.
Note that the ticker going across the screen.
God damn it.
Note that the ticker has gone.
Note that the ticker has returned.
Because again, 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins, I only have to lay 4 points to the Giants. Give me some of that. Hopefully it works better for me than it did for somebody else last week.
Yeah, because the line last week was 4, and they only won by some other single point loss.
Hi, this is Standards and Practices. At this point, you are now obligated to find an over-under on how many times 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins is going to be mentioned.
Are we talking for the rest of the show? Because
we're talking a la how he did it for Worlds, yeah.
We're with that for now. Give me 21 and a half.
I swear to God, that better be under.
It all depends.
I'm going to, for my favorite pick, I'm going to go with the game right underneath the one you selected there. New England is playing well, a lot better than maybe most people thought they would, especially with Mac Jones having a relatively okay second season. But this is a Cincinnati team that is actually still in the thick of things for home field advantage in the AFC playoffs. and a Cincinnati team that is significantly more talented than New England. I will take the Bengals -3 at New England.
Okay.
One more favorite, Eric.
Even though they're crap, I kind of like this one, especially since I've seen Colt McCoy, and we've got a potential division champion on our hands. So yeah, give me Tampa Bay -7.5 out west in Arizona. I know Tampa Bay sucks, but
Arizona's down to their third quarterback.
Exactly, and I've seen Trace McSorley in action.
Hey, as a Penn State guy, I'm hoping McSorley does well.
So,
go ahead and add. Go ahead and add Detroit -2.5 at Carolina to your favorites list as well for me. The line. I can't believe I'm about to say these following words. Are you ready, Mr. Watkins?
I'm ready.
Detroit might be the hottest team in the NFL right now.
What
And
are
that is
they at? Like 6 of 7?
And that is a scary thought to process for a team that was considered dead in the water at, what was it, 1-6?
Yeah, 1-6. And believe it or not,
bing,
there's been a few recent years where a team sitting at 6-7 after 13 games has gone on to make the playoffs. Detroit was at 6-7 before their last win.
It just happened last year that somebody was 6-7 and made the playoffs. Because they won their last 3 to finish 9-7. I forget who it was.
And well, we have one. Should I make a guest spot as you see in the private chat?
I suppose if you want to.
I'll do this separate.
Well, I mean, I would disagree with that pick personally, but that's just me.
For this one, especially, and we'll talk about this during the second half, I get it entirely. I get it.
Boot that bot from the Twitch chat, by the way.
Well, I necessarily can't. I'm not showing it, but with Twitch, it's a whole different animal.
All right, let's move over to underdog, shall we?
Let's. Now,
so I get to go first here, and not only am I predicting this underdog, I'm predicting them straight up. Give me the Atlanta Falcons +6.5 against the Baltimore Ravens.
Really?
Baltimore is a team in disarray right now after coming off of that stunning loss to Cleveland, where they scored all of 3 points against the Browns.
True.
The Falcons still have an outside chance in the NFC South, only a game currently with tiebreaker in hand against Tampa Bay. I will take the Falcons +6.5.
Could the Falcons make it close? Yes, but we'll see a little bit more what Desmond Ridder has in the tank. For me, and for this one, it's purely because of the number. I am not the biggest Geno Smith fan, as you all know. However, the way Geno Smith has shown this season, he, of anybody, can be quick to pull something out of his ass and have that another hot performance. I think Kansas City does win, but I think 10 is a bit too big. Give me the Seahawks plus the too short of a dozen.
So you're saying he can pull something out of his ass, unlike another former Jets quarterback?
Yes. Instead of running into teammates' asses, he's pulling something out of his own.
butt fumble joke. That's where we are as an episode, folks. Speaking of teams that are butt, 6-8 takes on 5-9.
Come on, that was a good butt fumble joke setup. You can at least give me a monkey for that. I got a chuckle out of Erik. I think it earned it.
I mean, it earned it from me, but as you see, I was outvoted.
I'll tell you what. Post segment, he can have his monkey. Okay. Let's get through the rest of this segment because we still got 2 more picks to make. My second underdog pick. Speaking of butts, 2 teams that are butt ugly, even though one of them is coming off of said victory over Baltimore last week. I'm going to the Cleveland Browns game, and I'm going to another NFC South team that still has a chance to win this division, including this NFC South team actually having beaten Tampa Bay earlier in the year. Because for some reason, Tom Brady cannot beat New Orleans regardless of who the quarterback is for the Saints. Give me the New Orleans Saints +3 at Cleveland.
This is one that I'm worried is going to come back and bite me. We've seen what the Niners have done with Brock Purdy, and we've seen how they've beaten pretty ass teams. Washington, to their credit, isn't entirely ass.
Just their owner is.
Exactly. Their owner entirely different. And as we talked about off air, Ron Rivera, you cannot get more of a class act than that guy. Even though they're making the trip out west, this is another one of those sneaky ones, especially with Washington still fighting for a playoff spot. Give me the Commanders +6.5 at the mega-sized Blue Jeans.
I will say this much, too, with regards to your favor here. Purdy did just lose one of his best weapons for a couple of weeks, possibly for the rest of the regular season, in Deebo Samuel, who thankfully, not a knee injury as many originally feared. It is instead a high ankle sprain that will keep him probably out the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, if anything, they're going to look to shut him down out of a bit of caution. I'm not mad about.
Hold on. Can I interject here for a second, though? Look at what he did last week, even without Deebo Samuel. He still put up, 217 yards? 13 for 17, I think it was. Like, I don't know necessarily if he needs Deebo Samuel to perform.
Seahawks, Commanders, which defense would you rather face with Deebo Samuel in your backfield? Commanders' defensive line is arguably the best in the NFL, and they might be getting Chase Young back this week.
Mm-hmm. You were right.
Okay,
17 of 26 for 217 and 2 touchdowns, but
Go ahead. I'm waiting for my response.
Thank you. Score update now 13-3 Jacksonville. Mutter.
Oh, Mike, we'll get to the score updates when we get to the score updates.
Back to the Brock Purdy thing here. This is his first time playing an NFL caliber defensive line because Seattle's defense is not what Seattle's defense used to be.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I think I would rather him play against the Seahawks. So I think you make a fair point. Washington does have a good defense. Washington, I don't rule them out. I'm not ruling them out.
Washington has a pair of Alabama defensive ends that they focused on in the Football Night in America. Yeah, I know, same here. But the point of the fact is both of them were top 10 overall draft picks. So obviously there's a significant talent level there. And then getting back, what was it? Chase Young, number 2 overall in the draft. The year Trevor Lawrence
getting
was drafted,
Chase Young back active is definitely big. That's for sure. I can't take that away.
The question is how motivated, how capable will Chase Young be after having missed basically what amounts to a full calendar year of NFL action due to the torn ACL last season?
He'll be on a snap count. I'm sure of that.
similar to what happened with Tre'Davious White when he made his return up in Buffalo earlier this season, because that's the same injury that took Tre'Davious out last season.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I think what
that
I'm going to
could've
say
helped.
is, I think what I'm going to say is, he is an underdog, but I don't be surprised if he puts up a good game, but don't be disappointed if he gets ran over by Washington.
My thing with Brock Purdy is I think Brock Purdy is basically auditioning for other NFL teams at this point, because I don't see the Niners giving up on Trey Lance.
They're not. But the big question is with Jimmy G.
Oh,
very
Garoppolo's gone.
And so again, if Garoppolo's gone, I think Brock Purdy would be either a good backup or at least an open competition with Trey Lance for next season.
The issue that I see with that, though, is do you really want to go into the 2023 season with that little experience at quarterback?
Sometimes it works. Sometimes.
And
But
60% of the time it works 100% of the time.
But here's
Stay
here's
classy,
the other-
Broadhurst.
Here's Jesus fuck, now I know how Harry feels.
Go ahead, Brian.
But you have a button that you can use at your disposal.
This is the question I pose to you guys, though. Other teams in the league as a whole have a Shanahan and have the system that Shanahan has developed where you can make even, a guy like Brock Purdy look good, right? Because you have to give credit to Kyle Shanahan on what he's done with that program to be able to slot a guy like Brock Purdy in and have as much success as he's had.
Shanahan,
Right?
John Lynch,
that
the
is
GM.
not entirely on Brock Purdy. As much as everybody wants to make it seem like it's entirely on Brock Purdy, you have to also give credit to Shanahan and the system that he's developed. And I think the question really becomes, sure, he might be auditioning for other teams at this point. His stock value might be going up, but who else in the NFL has the kind of system that Shanahan's running that Brock Purdy is benefiting from?
I think a lot of it for Brock Purdy is there was so little footage available on the guy that he was able to take teams by surprise this season. I think the more footage that becomes available on a guy like Purdy, the least effective he's going to be.
He got a lot of film.
Yeah, I mean that is, I think, part of it as well. If you can't properly scout a guy, he can throw anything at you and you won't be able to expect it because you don't know what he's capable of throwing at you. I don't disagree with that.
No, John. No.
But
No.
different point though. Different point though. And I'll take a ding for this fact.
Gimmick infringing some bitches.
Hey, gimmick infringement's exclusive around here. There is only one team in the NFC West that is currently net positive number of points this season. Mind you, the Seahawks are net 0. But when you're plus 126 points compared to the rest of the conference, you can afford to play a little bit next year, I would say.
Okay, to be fair, though, most of that plus 126 was Garoppolo's doing, not Purdy's. Garoppolo
10-4 record says 10-4 record.
But Garoppolo was responsible for the vast majority of that.
Seven-win streak, still a 7-win streak.
I don't disagree with that, but I was saying here,
if we're going to sit here and rate the individual merits of the quarterbacks, you can't sit here and have one quarterback take credit for what the other quarterback's doing. I'm trying to help you out here, Harry.
Yeah, and what I was going to say to that is, and me and Erik talked about this when he got hurt, Jimmy Garoppolo was having his best season as a San Francisco 49er when he went down,
Mm-hmm.
when he broke his foot.
Yeah.
So,
and this is the
more to
Go
the
ahead.
point, too, is there's talk of possibility of Garoppolo being ready to come back in the postseason. And respectfully to how well Purdy has been playing, if you're telling me that you will have a 100% healthy Jimmy Garoppolo come postseason, I'm starting Garoppolo over Purdy.
And this is why I say, if the Niners decide to have a deal keeping Garoppolo, then Brock is absolutely auditioning for other teams. But if Jimmy G's gone, Brock Purdy's got a shot, and that completely changes the equation. That's my only thing. I am banking on one of the two has got to
Well,
go.
what about the number?
One of the two's going to say.
Who's the number 2 guy again there?
Well, it was originally Trey Lance was the starter. They handed the
Garoppolo
keys
is
over
the
to him.
backup.
Garoppolo's the number 2. Purdy's the number 3.
And then Trey Lance in like week 1 of the regular season blew out his ACL.
So, if you've got it, so I think the question becomes if Garoppolo's healthy and he starts, do you keep Brock Purdy or do you keep Trey Lance? Right? I mean,
Trey Lance.
If Lance blew his foot as ACL or whatever, got injured in week 1, I don't know if you've got enough data on him where you want to warrant keeping him around if you've seen Purdy play and you see how well he's slotting into your system.
First round pick.
I think they're going to give Trey Lance every opportunity to succeed. Interception as the half runs out. I think they went for a pitchy woo woo.
Yeah, tell New England how that worked for them.
It was just a quick backwards lateral. He was tackled. Halftime
Jets-
has been reached.
So
Halftime has
Jets
been
get the
reached
ball
at
back
Met.
after half anyway. So
Halftime has been reached at MetLife. It is currently 13-3 Jacksonville as we head to the half. All right, so this actually works
All
out
right.
perfectly for our show that happened, because we have a pretty full-blown discussion coming up for that with what we have with the NIL deals, as well as the passing of a professional football legend this week.
One legend, one kind
Not-
of cut short.
Not deceased either, but currently in hospice care.
Really?
Ronnie Hillman,
Yeah.
hospice care.
Well, I thought that the whole thing when he passed and multiple reports. Well,
The article that I saw on I think it was Sporting News said that one of his teammates came out and said that he was in hospice care for lung cancer.
okay.
So he's in end of life care, but he hasn't passed yet, from what I've read. I don't know if that's still the case or not, and if it is, then I do apologize. But I hadn't read that he had passed.
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Multiple places. Yahoo.
Today,
Yeah, that's why I put it out there today.
when I looked at it yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
he hadn't passed yet.
Yeah, I saw it today that he had.
Okay, so then a pair of tributes for our NFL. We might as well let's save those and finish with those, just because the somber nature of them. I have to pull up Discord because I don't remember what my college STH was.
Also, we have a little bit of a funny thing to talk about in the second half. What would have qualified for the all sports? Trevor Bauer's in the news.
He of the accusations for the Dodger pitcher that had the accusations of the rough sex issues.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
So briefly as a TLDR, suspension cut, reinstated, effective immediately.
Which is basically code for the woman probably confessed that it was consensual.
Actually, for this one, reduced, and with an arbitrator. His suspension was reduced to 194 games by an arbitrator, but that arbitrator ruled he's eligible to be reinstated immediately, basically giving him time served.
Gotcha.
for being on the restricted list. So yeah, he's back for 2023.
All right. So I just found my college STH, and it's appropriate since yesterday was National Signing Day.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and pull up the So That Happened banner, please. We're going to save Eric's college one for last because it's going to take the most amount of time to discuss.
Oh, yeah.
So my college STH is Arch Manning makes it official. The third generation of Manning quarterback to play in college behind Arch E and then Peyton and Eli. Arch Manning has officially signed his national letter of intent with the University of Texas Longhorns.
Keeping it in the SEC.
Which is funny that they're moving to the SEC, but not next year, but the year after. So he'll play one season in the Big 12, and then he'll move to the SEC in 2024. So it is kind of appropriate that Texas is making the move while Arch is there, because it continues the fact of Eli playing at Ole Miss, Peyton at Tennessee, and wasn't the dad at Ole Miss as well?
Yep. That they have the speed limits at 18 miles an hour on the campus in Oxford, Mississippi, in Archie's honor.
So the third generation of Manning has officially made it that he has signed his national letter of intent with Texas and will be competing for the job in 2023 while still in the Big 12 before moving with the rest of the team to the SEC in 2024. Assuming somebody doesn't try to sign him away, we'll talk about that in just a few moments because that Pat Narduzzi story pissed me off.
Oh.
Dramatic reverb.
Dramatic doggo.
It has been updated to dramatic doggo. So let's lower the volume on it, but you know what to hit in the background, Eric. Saturday night, the NFL Network is set to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. The two teams that played in that game, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the then Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders, will meet once again in primetime on NFL Network. One of the men to be honored at that game was the man who caught the ball off of the Immaculate Reception, former Pittsburgh Steeler running back Franco Harris. Unfortunately, Mr. Harris will not be there to celebrate this milestone, as Monday afternoon, Franco Harris passed away at the age of 72.
It was just a shame, even though he had what was an incredibly full life. But we had a similar conversation with John Madden, being able to see his documentary and all of the honors and everything. And I even talked about with Shane Warne, him being able to see and discuss his documentary as well. It's a shame he won't be able to see this moment in person, but Pittsburgh is coming out and saying they've already got it set up and taken care of. They will add even more, and he will definitely be looking down with a big old smile on his face.
If I'm not mistaken, his number was to be added to the Steelers' Ring of Honor at this game as well. That was going to happen before his passing on Monday. So I would imagine there will be a huge ceremony to honor the family members of the man behind the Immaculate Reception, Pittsburgh Steeler running back Franco Harris. Unfortunately, he is not the only one we lost over the course of this week because, as Eric and I were just discussing a few moments ago, the step has been taken from hospice care. Former Denver Bronco running back Ronnie Hillman. Mr. Watkins, the floor is yours.
passing away, we've mentioned, with lung cancer at the very tender age of 31. His life was brief, very meaningful. His career, just as much. Running back for the Broncos, understated stalwart on that Super Bowl 50 championship team.
Backup for the Broncos when Manning led them to the title, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, he had his glory on the field, thankfully, but especially in cases like this, cancer, so young, only just making it out of his 30s, this hits completely different. I mean, even he appearing in both Super Bowls, seeing both the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Englewood, Colorado. The former Broncos running back Ronnie Hillman dies of cancer at 31. Former Denver Broncos running back.
Wasn't even trying to for that one.
Former Denver Broncos running back Ronnie Hillman, who played in two Super Bowl teams, including the Broncos' Super Bowl 50 victory, has died after a bout with cancer, his family said Thursday. He was 31. Hillman's family posted on his Instagram account Wednesday that he was diagnosed with a rare form of kidney cancer called renal medullary carcinoma and was under hospice care. That's the article that I saw that we were talking about earlier. The family later posted that he died surrounded by family and close friends. Former teammates such as Derek Wolfe, Youngstown, Ohio native Derek Wolfe, graduated from high school here in Youngstown at South Range, and Orlando Franklin had expressed how dire Hillman's health was in recent days. Franklin took to social media to ask, please pray for Ronnie Hillman. This ain't fair. Please, God, please. We are deeply saddened by the untimely passing of former Denver Broncos running back Ronnie Hillman, the Broncos said in a statement. A key contributor to the winningest 4-year period in franchise history, Ronnie was a part of 2 Super Bowl teams and led the Broncos in rushing during our Super Bowl 50 championship season. Soft-spoken, with a warm smile and a quiet intensity, Ronnie was drafted by the Broncos in 2012 and grew into a dynamic player and well-respected teammate. He will be fondly remembered by our organization, which extends its heartfelt sympathies and condolences to the Hillman family during this difficult time. The article continues on. We'll link the article in the show description. I'll send it to you on Messenger, Eric.
All right. And I can put it in the comments for everybody.
Yeah, everybody can watch it because I'm on my phone looking this up. So if I send it to him, he's on the computer. He'll be able to add it into the chat for everyone. Is it just me, or has this been an especially rough time of the year for deaths in sports?
Yeah, the past couple of months in particular have really been bad.
Like, it seems like every single week we've had to do the Boys to Men intro in order to pass along a eulogy or a tribute to a fallen player.
As you guys have known in the past, I do watch Young Trees summaries every week. The gong has sounded at the end of many of his videos as of late. So, yeah, it's not just you noticing it.
Franco Harris at 72, while sad, is not as big of a tragedy as Ronnie Hillman at 31. Franco Harris got to live a wonderful full life. Got to see 7 decades on this earth. When a young man's life is cut short at the age of 31 through no fault of his own, that is a tragedy. Our thoughts and our condolences are with both the Harris and the Hillman family. And as I've said before, gentlemen, go rest high upon that mountain. Your work on earth is done. There is no easy way to transition out of that. I'm not even going to try. We've said it before on the podcast that there's no point trying to do so with any kind of sense of humor or hubris. We will stay in So That Happened, however, as now we talk what we've kind of teased a little bit earlier and what Erik definitely teased on last week's show. It's time to pay off some dramatic doggo here on the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report.
Sports in black and white and green.
Yeah, notice the emphasis on the pay off. That was not
Did somebody pay a visit to a certain website ending in a .lv? There's any chance on this?
I mean, look, if you want to go ahead.
Aura and dinero?
if you want to go.
Mark and Terabang?
I have no idea what's happening over here. I'm so confused. I'm outvoted regardless, so.
Sometimes sometimes my fingers work, sometimes they don't. They're more useful in
That's what she said.
Family show.
That is several different kinds of gimmick infringement there, Mr. Nilsson.
Well played combination, though, brother.
Hi, good evening. This is Standards and Practices. I'd like to remind you that this is a family show.
God damn it, I'm wearing headphones. You guys suck.
I didn't even
What in the hell do you think you're trying to do here? This is a family show.
But his thumb was covering it.
I don't care. You fool.
I just broke Nilsson.
You guys better get this back on the bandwagon, or the bandwagon is going to come and kick your ass like the Aflac duck.
Oh, that's the Disney duck. Never mind. Moving forward. All right.
Anyway,
No, don't say Disney. Whatever do you do, for the love of God, don't say.
All right, let's get it back on track here, guys. All right,
third quarter underway. By the way,
we will get banned off of every platform if you continue.
We're going back to the conversation here. So, Erik, I know you have a lot of news about NIL here. And did you see the one that I said?
It's going to be about NIL and not something related to Disney.
I mean, technically, ESPN is owned by Disney.
Stop it. Anyway.
But yes, with Pitt coach Pat Narduzzi, he said that two other ACC coaches were offering up, I believe, what was it, $5 million in NIL deals?
$5 million worth in NIL deals in order to get University of North Carolina quarterback Drake May to transfer.
It is that cash grab kind of life. There was one top recruit Ohio State was really trying to land in their class. They came out and said the best they could do was like the $500,000 to $750,000 deal. Georgia comes in, says, "Hey, 1.3 mil, let's go. Have yourself an opportunity to make some bank and win potentially another chip." Where does the guy go? Right down to the Dogs. And Ohio State mentioned if they want to keep their current roster intact for next season, they calculated $13 million of NIL deals were necessary to keep everybody happy.
And that's like to keep their like the primary players, like your wide receivers, your running backs, your quarterbacks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Consider how many quarterbacks Ohio State has already lost in the transfer portal. Let's look at one of the men who will be going for his second national championship here down at the University of Georgia, Stetson Bennett. Where did Mr. Bennett start his collegiate career, Mr. Watkins?
Didn't he also start it at Ohio State? I know he also transferred somewhere else. Then he transferred to Georgia.
Stetson Bennett was a Buckeye to start.
Yeah, he was a Buckeye to start. Was it also USC? Then
I think
Georgia?
I thought that was JT Daniels that went to USC.
I know it was JT Daniels that went to USC, but I remember that wasn't his only pit stop because this year he became the oldest starting quarterback to ever win the SEC championship game at 25.
25. I thought it was
25
26.
years and 1 month.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's not all the NIL news that we go ahead, Mr. Nielsen.
Speaking of years of eligibility, I saw in the news someone got a 7th year.
Ninth.
Ninth, if you're talking about the guy at Oregon.
More on that later, but yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned something about USC and NIL deals, Eric, last week. That was your big tease. Why don't you go ahead and take the floor here and explain what you're talking about, and then we can discuss as a group afterwards.
I gotta go ahead and pull back up that particular story. So I am going to need a little bit of a minute.
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
Go ahead.
Don't need a minute?
No, I got it, but you go ahead and go first because I can better set the stage.
12 minutes, 19 seconds running clock in the third quarter. 3rd down and 1 for Jacksonville, up 13-3. First down, Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence from the quarterback keeper. We are approximately a fifth of the way into the third quarter at MetLife Stadium. Go ahead, Mr. Watkins. The floor is yours.
So it wasn't necessarily USC and the NIL deals. USC and the National Labor Relations Board. Because the National Labor Relations Board is going after the NCAA and their amateurism model. The reason why USC is involved is because if you go back to a couple of years ago when Northwestern students wanted to unionize, they could not. The NLRB said no, but they ruled it on a technicality because Northwestern is a public institution and the NLRB only has jurisdiction in the private sector. Why does USC fit in with this? Exact same, Harry.
Northwestern's a public institution?
Mm-hmm.
I thought the State University in Illinois was the University of Illinois.
But you have multiple schools, just like you have the University of California in Berkeley, but
and
you
UCLA.
have UCLA, UCSB, UCSD, Long Beach. Why am I getting this face? Where is this face coming from?
I'm assuming it has something to do with unions.
You said that the NLRB is involved?
Yes. They are because
somebody is about to get forcibly sat on a cactus and spun around a few times.
Yes, as I was relating.
The NLRB does not fuck around.
And this is where USC comes in. Because the University of Southern California, as a private institution, not in the UC system, this is under NLRB's purview.
It's in their wheelhouse.
Exactly. They are using USC as a private institution, and they will be hearing a case with the NCAA's model.
You mean they're about to get made an example of?
Yeah. Reading this article, the NLRB is going to investigate a case over whether football and basketball players at USC should be able to collectively bargain. They would be allowed to do what Northwestern students wouldn't, Dear Lord, Evan, yes! Oh, God. Doesn't it feel so good playing at home, but for a much more decent team? And you don't have to worry about all those bum-ass state taxes?
I wonder how he feels about being in the visitors' locker room at MetLife because he's not used to that.
All right. What are you getting on this sandwich if this holds?
Hold on. Let's focus on the task at hand here, and then we can come back to game discussion, please.
Yeah, because I'll have to look at the menu after I look at this to figure out what this delicious sandwich that I'm going to get. Oh.
Here's what I don't get about this whole thing here. So if you're going to
Mhm.
allow football and basketball students to negotiate, what about the other athletes as well? Doesn't that kind of create a paradox for them?
Now, that goes on the reach of who all will be included by the National Collegiate Players Association. If that association includes players in Olympic sports and other sports, then yes, they would also be able to collectively bargain. However, as we noted before, with football and men's basketball being the primary income drivers, and more often than not, those two sports fund Olympic sports and other sports on campus, they would be essentially first rights of refusal, and then everything else would be passed down.
Second issue at hand. Aren't they basically funded by the universities in the form of their athletic scholarships?
Yes and no. And there was actually a Supreme Court case that brought this about, because while scholarships are part of it, under current NCAA rules, this is why the NIL came to be. You only get that scholarship. Room and board is minimal, nothing to do with meal plans. You cannot get an on-campus job. Well, meal plans and stuff, I'm sure that's changed. But the thing with the on-campus job, that stood. So you had, aside from the bare bones, you got nothing extra. And there were incidents going all the way back to the 80s, Miami, SMU, where players were struggling and you had boosters helping them out under the table. The NIL just brought that above board.
Well, I was going to say about the whole scholarship thing. For most athletic scholarships, because I actually have friends that received athletic scholarships to college. For most athletic scholarships, your tuition is covered, your room and board are covered, your books are covered, and depending on what particular sport it is, there is traditionally some form of a meal plan included.
Now,
however, you did mention the lack of ability to get a job on campus. That was for fear of impropriety through the NCAA itself, which has been revoked through the name, image, likeness agreement.
Right. And I'm going to add an extra caveat to that, because as you mentioned, with all of those primarily qualify in what are considered head count sports. What do I mean by head count? Take, for example, FBS football. 85 students, 85 scholarships, one per head. Same with basketball. When you're dealing with the other sports, baseball, golf, lacrosse, etc., there are only so many full scholarships to distribute through your entire team. So other stuff has to be made of in the meantime. Those particular benefits would not necessarily apply to non-head count athletes.
Partial scholarships in addition to grants and stuff from various businesses and the like.
Precisely. Right.
So, I mean, we're getting closer and closer to collegiate athletes being paid like professionals at this point.
Lower end? I mean, if you're going to get the best example...
This Drake May story. Well, let's look at this Drake May story that just broke today. Broke yesterday with Narduzzi here. $5 million for a quarterback? That's your rookie deal. That's your full-length rookie deal in terms of your actual ability to be paid for those couple of years. Like, bare minimum NFL salary is like $900,000, right?
I'm gonna
Something-
double check that, but
something like that, 850, 900. It's somewhere in that range. And that's probably based on seniority as far as what the bare minimum is, because I'm sure it's different for people with NFL seniority and people coming in as undrafted rookies.
Rookies
the
from the incoming 2022 NFL draft class will make a minimum 705,000, marking a 45,000 increase from the previous year.
Which is probably what Blake Purdy is getting, is $705,000.
Yep. And if you have your years of service, they tack on. So if you were to even have up to 10 years of service as a veteran minimum, that's $1.1 million for this year. So if you're talking about $5 million, yeah, that's a 1 year of like a late round picks guaranteed rookie deal, as you mentioned.
You're getting paid. You're getting paid more to stay in college now than you would be making on your rookie contracts, unless you are a super high-end draft pick.
Absolutely.
Obviously, those top-level draft picks are going to negotiate the long, full-term contracts and stuff. Like we've seen some of the ridiculous levels that those rookie deals get up to with the terms of signing bonuses and the like from that. Go ahead, John.
As of September this year is when I'm pulling this article from, quotes, the average NFL salary around $2.7 million.
So you're
double
twice
the average salary almost
to stay in college for another season. And whatever schools, Narduzzi did not name names. One of the coaches in the Big 12 said the same thing, that one of the players on his team in the Big 12 was offered scholarships by outside sources NIL money in excess of that level. Not to that $5 million level, but the point being is that the NIL deal thing, and what it's going to do is it's going to make the rich get richer and the poor get poorer in terms of college football. It's going to separate even further that gap between the Power Five and the Group of Five conferences.
And with all of this, like we mentioned with the Oregon, I believe it was a tight end, had 9th year of eligibility. He now gets to have those NIL deals as far as he doesn't have to worry about getting a job. Even something 50, 60,000 could help him get by. But this also continues. Damn it! You smart son of a bitch. Damn it, I knew that they were going to try something.
The kickoff out of bounds.
Patterson, 41-yard field goal. Jags up 16-3. Continue.
Yeah, the returner did the smart thing by having a 1 foot out of bounds when he caught it, making the kickoff out of bounds. Brilliant, but fuck. Anyways.
Ensuing kickoff out of bounds, 1st and 10 Jets on the 40.
So when you have something like this, and as we mentioned, this college football super league, in essence, the Division I Board of Governors, I'm keep going back to that moment. I have a feeling that if you have 1-2 years, now that we have the early expanded playoff, now that we have already this level of dealings with the NIL deals, if we go into, say, 2026, don't be surprised if that gains a whole lot of momentum because of that separation that you talked about. Brian, you're talking like bigger and bigger contracts for television and everything else. Hey.
And I would have to think that as the media rights for these conferences go up, the amount of money that these players are going to want for commanding those media rights is only going to increase. Brian, you've been pretty quiet throughout this whole conversation. What are your thoughts on it? Well, you don't really follow college sports, though, to be fair.
Mostly because I don't follow college sports, and I haven't really been paying attention to the conversation.
Somebody was off playing Worlds in the background.
No, actually, I'm watching the actual game.
I mean, I'm watching the game, too.
And
you guys are getting
trying
smoked.
to produce something, but that didn't work out.
Didn't render properly?
No, I can't find a good clip.
Broken up pass by Campbell. Is that Calais?
No, Calais Campbell is elsewhere. What the? Whoa!
That's a good defensive play. Jumped up right at the same time as the receiver and swatted it out of his hands.
Thank you, Cisco. Once again.
So this might affect my cousin's eldest daughter, who is in I'll just say an Olympic sport at a private university in the West Coast Conference.
Now,
okay, that narrows it down to like St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
I ain't
Pepperdine.
specifying further on here.
But what I'm saying is, just on those parameters, Olympic sports get more money at those West Coast Conference schools. So this could be of extra benefit to her, especially, and again, I am only purely speculating of the nature of, say, like a volleyball. You do not have to confirm nor deny.
Conversation inside of show chat.
Figured.
All right. So just as importantly here too, and I think in an Olympic year, you're going to see more and more of these Olympic sports having more and more accountability for these kind of events.
Oh, how is that not? Not only is that face mask, but that is like unsportsmanlike.
Well, that's on your player.
That's
there was fake. Yeah, you could call them on both. You could call them on both.
Are they going to call?
Yeah, I see the face mask. Yeah, it's either on both and offset.
Jags had the face mask. Jags had the face mask first, and then our guy grabbed face mask in return. Next guy shoved him well after the play was dead on the sideline.
These refs are as blind,
but it all falls under unsportsmanlike conduct, so it's all going to wash anyway.
And unfortunately, it didn't. They always catch that second guy, but I'm with you. I would have called that on both players and let it offset.
Yeah.
They only called it on the Jets, which that's offside.
Yeah.
As blind as college referees when they're officiating a Gator game in Auburn.
But to Harry's point, though, and it's not really just going to be going into an Olympic year in 2024 when you have les Jeux Olympiques in Paris. Fast forward to 2028.
Gesundheit.
The Olympic Games in Los Angeles. You don't think that those who are currently in middle and school right now, we're going to high school and in college at that time, aren't going to get some massive mega deals for those sponsors? And everything for them?
You mentioned, 2028 there for a summer game in 2028. What about the 2026 winters as well? You're going to see probably an increase in scholarship and NIL deals for hockey players too.
Oh, yeah.
Although here's the question: would NIL deals revoke IOC eligibility?
No, because remember, professional athletes are allowed to play at Olympic Games.
Well, that's true. They just pulled that. They removed the amateur status rule, so that way pro athletes can play at the Olympics now.
Because go all the way back to the Dream Team, and remember, if you're talking NIL for hockey, that wouldn't necessarily be applicable because only if the NHL does not work out an agreement for NHL players to go play in Milan Cortina in 2026. If you have to bring in college guys, then NIL deals would go through the roof. So that would be a thing to work out.
Well, the NHL didn't send anybody over this year, but in fairness, the reason the NHL didn't send anybody over this year is because of the COVID protocols and stuff. They didn't want to take the chances of shutting down the season.
Not just COVID protocols, but look at where the winter games were. Beijing.
Not saying, but just saying.
I mean, similar effect to the World Cup being over in Qatar. So, which real quick, congratulations to Lionel Messi and the rest of Team Argentina.
Muchas felicitaciones al equipo argentino. And seriously, hearing Andres Cantor cry tears of joy after Mondesi made that penalty, oh, that just warmed my heart. Y también, sí, esta parte del programa es presentado por Ink Cola, la cola dorada.
Harry, you still got that SAP button?
As a matter of fact, I do. Doop. All right. Back to
Esta
it
parte
here.
de nuestro programa está presentado por Inca Cola, la cola dorada.
And yes, we do indeed have an
Usted
SAP
lo ha
button for this
presionado
one.
el SAP button. Unfortunately, you put the SAP button on Erik, not on me.
No es un gran problema.
Listen here, some bitch English. You're in America. Speak English. This part of the program brought to you by the Deep South, specifically South
I
Alabama.
have to go inflict physical violence on somebody.
I think we just got a bottle toss on air.
So that happened.
Karma, thy name is Espinosa?
Apparently, he's got 4 seconds. He's got 4 seconds.
Can I just point out, and I know this wasn't intentional,
Mm-hmm.
can I just point out the fact that his Christmas sweater is kind of Tampa his Christmas sweater is kind of Tampa Bay Lightning colored as well, except for the black at the bottom.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And do you know what happened to Tampa Bay yesterday? They got their
This network is not a network. Copyrighted gimmick exclusive.
apologies to our headphones listeners that are catching a miserable echo because of you two right now.
That's why I muted at the end.
Tampa Bay got their ass whooped by Detroit 7-4 yesterday.
Yeah, if we didn't also get our asses beat, that would have been mighty helpful.
You guys have been very hit and miss this season so far.
Yeah!
Way to almost take out your microphone there, Espinosa.
Mediocrity, thy name is Florida.
Yeah, I guess we can kind of get rid of that. We've basically hit the all sports edition of BWSR at this point.
And to think, we didn't even need to have that little be right back thing for halftime.
We worked it out that we finished the rest of the regular edition of the show during it.
This some bitch hit me with a big ass bottle. That wasn't
I
even
missed
a lick.
on the toss, actually.
No, that hit.
Hey, full tosses can be hit for 6, so I don't know what you're talking about.
This particular part of the show brought to you by Peach Rings.
I'm not a Peach fan, actually. My old man is, though.
You know, this gives me an idea, but I don't know if I want to go through with it, but it would make for an interesting last half hour or so of the show if I did.
Oh?
Don't
you know what
don't
rule number 3 is, motherfucker?
Not on this broadcast you don't. That's a POV deal.
Bacon makes everything better?
No. Well, yes, but no. I mean, there is a form of baked involved there, but no. No.
That was going to be bad.
Segment monkey, damn it.
Oh, that rule 3.
16-3. It looks like apparently that Trevellar quarterback is back in. Trevellar, that's it. Oh, and
Yeah.
he just took a shot. Number 5 for Jacksonville, Cisco.
Yep. Sending him and encouraging him to go straight back to Canada.
Wait a minute.
Nothing wrong with that.
Did Wilson get benched again?
Apparently.
Well, he's standing on the side. Okay, here's the important. Where the fuck is Joe Flacco?
They're keeping the eliteness on the sidelines as well.
2 minutes and 52 seconds left in the third quarter. 16-3 Jacksonville. First down Jets, though, on the halfback screen out of the backfield.
Zach Wilson's stats currently per NFL.com's Game Center. 9 of 18, 92 yards with a pick.
To be fair, that pick was on a full of grace.
Oh, what the hell was that? You could have committed up in his ass.
And they confirmed Straveler's in.
The interception was thrown on a full of grace right at halftime, so you can't really count that against them.
Fantasy-wise, you can.
Well, I mean, in fairness, if you're starting Zach Wilson at fantasy in your league, you've got bigger problems.
I'm playing Geno Smith, thank you very much. And I'm in the finals of my playoff at a record of 6-8 in regular season.
Yeah, you may not pull off that Chicago Rush miracle if you got Geno Smith starting.
Hey, I just defeated Mr. Presidente of our league. Yes. We have a certain record of President's Cup winners in our fantasy league, much like a certain NHL team.
You can kick him off the air. You're allowed.
Mutter, bringing up El Presidente. Fuck Colorado. Mutter.
I mean, if there's one thing in this group that is confirmed about that, it's fuck Colorado. All right, bring him back.
Agreed on the fuck Colorado.
I feel like that is the one mutual hockey thing we all agree on. Fuck the
Avs. I'm not liking this. I'm not liking
fuck
this.
the Avs.
Did your Alexa really just go off?
Apparently, Alexa understood what fuck Colorado meant.
Hey, the only reason I was rooting for Colorado was just so Tampa Bay Lightning streak would end, so my Islanders 4 in a row was kept nice and safe at the top.
You're about to get kicked off the
I'll
show
take
by
statements that I'll take statements that can ensue violence for 2,000, please, Alex.
I mean, normally
and behind that and the clue is a daily double, apparently.
I mean, the best. Look, I know you want statements that can ensue violence. Best I can give you is this.
Well,
I got
maybe
nothing.
you should get on, sir.
Oh, now I see why you guys were hooting and hollering before. Nice, beautiful 30-yard pass deep middle to Uzoma for
Okay.
30 yards.
You want to try that last name again?
No, because I'm going to butcher it just as bad.
Uzama.
Exactly, I was going to butcher just as bad.
This is
CJ Uzama, the former Cincinnati Bengal.
Look, not everybody can be like the rest of us in pronouncing names, okay?
I mean, it helps that we probably watch more regularly than they do as well.
Not to mention it also helps.
watch regularly.
No,
I don't, because I work crazy hours. Thank you.
No, I was just gonna say it helps that it's one of the perfect uses for my gifted tongue. I wasn't gonna throw anybody else under the bus.
I was more specifically referring to Nielsen, but if you want to indict yourself in the process, you're welcome to. And to the third,
You said they, which in the context of the sentence implied multiple people.
That arguably depends in 2022, as we do have a lot of people who are singular individuals who are non-binary that use they, them pronouns. We here at the Not a Network gladly accept you.
I am not one of those people, however.
Mr. Watkins, you are listening to the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report.
Sports in black and white.
Greetings, guys, gals,
Ahora
and
en
non-binary pals. He stepped on my comment.
I told you I have that SAP button ready.
Look,
Well, I
look. If we're doing a gimmick and you have me on the air,
You're going to step on it? Good to know.
there is the ahora en español part that has to be added. We have established this as part of the gimmick.
Technically,
Greetings.
he is correct.
I was not
Technically
there
correct.
for that.
Yes, you were, but I digress.
Greetings, guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
And welcome to the fourth quarter of the game.
I was about to say, was that commercial break the end of the third? You might want to refresh your feed, by the way, Nielsen. You're a good 20 to 25 seconds behind the rest of
Oh,
us.
I'm not
He's
watching
not
the game.
watching
I'm
the
stuck
game.
on Game Center because somebody's eating. I don't want to eat up all the bandwidth to the point where two individuals are about to go off air.
We have plenty of bandwidth. You just don't. How are you going to watch this stream? You don't have Prime Video.
You can pull it up on the computer if you have Amazon Prime.
Thus
He
the
doesn't
if
have
word
Prime.
in that conditional.
Didn't hear what you said there, Brian.
I
Try that
have
again.
the Amazon Prime account. I said you have
Yeah.
Prime Video. I have the Amazon Prime account, so I
Aha.
have the game. He doesn't.
Technically speaking, I don't
And it
have an
doesn't make
Amazon
sense
Prime
for
account.
Two of us to, he doesn't. It doesn't make sense for the both of us to have individual Prime accounts. So
Answer your question, Eric?
I figured.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she uses my Hulu. It's only fair. We're dating. It's okay. Calm your
No-
tits, Steve Bezos. Jeff Bezos. All you Bezoses.
Yeah, fuck them all. Oh, and you heard of what Netflix is doing? Speaking of that.
Oh no!
yeah,
Is
we
this
talked
a-
about
separate issue, but
this
there's
months
more.
ago. I just want to
No.
say for the record, we talked about this months ago.
We did.
What?
We did.
Yes, thank you, Strevelier. Come on, keep getting these first downs. Let's go.
What the
Been in the game
fuck?
3 fucking minutes, and he's already doing better than
Wait, what?
Whoa,
How?
whoa.
Strevelier. I don't know how to pronounce his fucking name.
Straveller.
Streveler. Look, he played in Canada, but he is not Quebecois, okay?
Oh,
Look, he's got a Quebecois looking name. I'm going to pronounce it right.
But anyway, as I
As
was
Harry
saying,
Broadhurst will no longer be seen or heard this evening, apparently.
what it is just going back to what I said as an update to what we talked about months ago, rather than just going ahead and charging extra, Netflix has decided in early 2023 they're just going to end password sharing altogether.
What? Start booting people?
That
For
ain't-
that ain't gonna fly.
I mean, they were already losing users by the truckload, so now they just put their foot on the gas pedal in the process.
I was going to say, this is them just, putting the nail in the coffin.
In other breaking news, Netflix has been bought by Hulu.
I mean, hell, would that really surprise anybody at this rate? And you can see all of that when you include that as a subscription along with YouTube TV.
Now the new home.
Hey, Eric, Eric, put this down for Sunday night. Legitimately, because we need to go deeper into this conversation. But I'm going to say this.
Sunday
Hulu
night
or
wait.
Paramount
Flag on the play.
would
You guys are
love.
Yes, to answer
We
your
may
question,
or may not
yes.
in the air. It's a topic for the next show, for the next episode. That's what I mean. As much as Hulu or Paramount would love to get their hands on Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
The FEC, the FTC is going to block that hell, even the SEC block that freaking fast. It ain't going to
Will
be
be called
funny.
for goaltending.
Jonathan Nielsen has been booted from this broadcast.
So, all right. So I'm assuming I put that down as.
Sorry, let me do that correctly. Flag on to play. Excessive pun. Automatic ejection. I don't know where I'm going with that. But no, my point is that would create a duop, or that would create, it would create a duopoly, right? Netflix is kind of like, you got Netflix, you got Hulu, and then to a lesser extent, you got Paramount. They're like the third biggest now, I believe, right?
You can make an argument for Disney Plus and a few others.
You get rid. Well, Hulu's owned by Disney Plus, so
Discovery
Fair.
with HBO Max once that becomes a combined deal.
True.
My point is you effectively give, especially if Hulu's the one that buys them, you give them a monopoly over the streaming content market. The amount of intellectual property, and I guess I can add this guy back in. The amount of intellectual property and streaming rights deals, especially lifetime exclusivity streaming rights deals, that both of those two platforms have, and then combining them into one, you're going to see so many freaking things that if you don't get it on Hulu, that's it. Right? Like you're not going to find it. Like, I'll give you an example. King of the Hill. You will only ever see King of the Hill streamed on Hulu. They have an exclusive lifetime streaming rights ownership to the King of the Hill franchise.
God dang it, Bobby.
You will never see King of the Hill come off of Hulu. You will never see King of the Hill added to any other streaming platform service.
Red zone alert. Continue.
Dangled. Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm talking about Dangle, man, and the Megalomart 911, man, it's a fire. They don't talk about boom, Megalomart, man, I'm going to explode, man. I'm talking about
Boomhauer was always my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the fun fact about Boomhauer's origin story?
You told me once.
I'm going to take that as a no.
Hold on, before we go any further here, if you are still listening and or watching, first of all, thank you. Second of all, welcome to the extra padded edition of the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report.
Sports in black and white, and just be glad I haven't talked about the cricket news yet. Continue.
A presentation of the Not a Network Podcast Network, twitter.com/Not a Network Pods, twitch.tv/Not a Network Pods, youtube.com/Not a Network Pods. Branding, baby.
At Not a Network Pods. You have to put the at symbol.
For YouTube, yes.
No, you have to put the at. For YouTube, yes, you have to put the at symbol.
Oh, my bad.
Discord coming within the next 2 weeks.
You can also find us by searching for the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report on the website as well. Continue, Mr. Espinoza.
You know, me and Erik had said something.
Turnover on downs.
Mute this man.
Technically, he was muted, so continue.
No, he muted himself.
Oh,
After
okay.
I literally went to clip mute him, and he said, "Can't unmute because your guest chose to mute themselves."
So we didn't do this to
anyway,
him.
So we were.
He did this to him.
We were talking before. Why am I even trying to Why am I even trying to hold my hands up over my head? I can just hit the button.
I'm about to say, I'm surprised.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
Yeah, because I mean, really, all I've been waiting for a
Next say something while I'm talking is getting shot. Please believe that.
I've been waiting for that all night, but
The number of times I get interrupted on these shows, that needs to be my go-to now.
You don't get a gimmick. You're on once a month.
Beckham got a block, got a couple of them. And this may be a flag. And then a kick by Beckham. Tell you, this game's got a chance to get ugly. It might get ugly right now. It is getting ugly right now.
you could have seen this coming long ago.
So yeah, speaking of
Yeah, but anyways, as I was going to say, first of all, Eric and I were talking on the pre-show. Harry complained about said anything like coming soon, you were going to get slapped in the face about the name changes. Which I do have to, offer some clarification real quick. We are live on our existing channel, AWP Podcasts on Twitch. However, we ask that you please follow the new channel at Not a Network Pods, because after February 1st, we will no longer be broadcasting on AWP Podcasts.
Unless necessary.
Yes, we have actual separate. Yeah, unless necessary, like, two shows going at once kind of thing. But even then, that's probably going to be very rare and few and far between. But back to the whole Boomhauer thing. Fun fact, Mike Judge, in an interview, admitted that Boomhauer is based off of a viewer who used to call and leave voicemails on Mike Judge's answering machine about Beavis and Butthead. And that's how the guy talked. And Mike Judge thought it was interesting enough to make a character based off of it. And that's how Boomhauer came to be.
So
yeah, King of the Hill is probably one of my all-time favorite adult animation shows.
And
I know a lot about it.
And we were mentioning earlier about Paramount during the whole streaming wars. Paramount is in the lead for the exclusivity for streaming for Cricket Australia. So, if I get to see some of my Australian test matches on Paramount Plus, you may not hear from me for 4 or 5 days at a time. Or if it's on a pitch like it was at the Gabba in Brisbane, 2 days at a time.
Eric, I got a question for you. Since it appears at this rate, I'm going to have to make that trip to credit you that sandwich.
Come on, how do you miss that sack?
Easily, this is the Jets we're talking about. Same old Jets. That's the way this game's
excuse
going.
me, we're third in pass defense and fourth in rush defense in the league?
We're fourth in the AFC East. This is same old Jets territory. How
Yeah,
about
that's
if you
because
see these
our
guys
offense
on the
is
same couch?
our offense is shit. Our defense is good. Typical Jets. One side of the ball is fucking up. The other side of the ball is doing amazing.
And
Yeah,
your
our
defense has been
is good. Save the line.
Yeah, your defense has been great. We've only scored 16 points so far.
I'm done trying to moderate. I'm out. at this point, the ship has sailed.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Harry Broadhurst, the voice reason.
Allegedly.
Not
Thank
allegedly.
you.
Not this episode. Nope.
I was waiting for Broadhurst to do it.
This is Harry Broadhurst, eater of peach rings.
Hey, I still got half of a dinner sub left, so
I had hot dogs for dinner. Oh, and cheesy poofs.
Yeah, cheesy poofs.
Screw you guys. I'm going. Oh, wait, I am home. Never mind.
if you leave, it becomes the all-new sports report.
Sports in black and white, and
Because that went
And Spanish.
so well on Thanksgiving night.
we had a lot of turkey that night.
Oh, yeah.
We did have a lot of turkey that night. In fact,
Name something people take with them to the beach.
Turkey?
The first thing you buy in a supermarket.
Turkey.
A food often stuffed.
Turkey.
turkey.
I set him up. He knows what to do.
Harry's just sitting there. You know.
What?
how-
Would you
what
prefer?
sums up
Would you
Harry-
prefer if I asked everybody, do they have a nickel?
Don't.
You know what sums up Harry? Where is
All
it?
right
Where is
then.
the
Not on this show.
Where is parallel? It's got to be in the parallel convergence.
So
I see what
I know
you
it's
did
under
there,
parallel
Broadhurst.
convergence.
I see exactly.
Stu, what are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
because I've lost control of my life.
Podcast. I've lost control of my podcast. Just glad that I told Eva I wasn't going to be available tonight.
So, since this game is winding down, the Jets next week get to travel to Seattle. Yeah, Jets playing a game on the West Coast. That's not going to go well.
Oh yeah, you get to face your old quarterback too.
I was just about to make that reference.
And then for week 18, we're down at the Hard Rock.
At least this time he can't pull anything out of his ass.
Or get punched by a teammate.
Hey,
Although
phrasing.
technically,
Don't tempt us. We might make that happen. Rex Ryan knows.
Fuck your couch, nigga. Buy another one, you rich motherfucker. Fuck your couch, nigga. Fuck your couch. Darkness is.
Let's not use that clip on BWSR, please.
Yeah.
I'm not the one who pushed the button. Don't look at me.
I didn't do this to you.
He knows who I'm looking at.
Blue name for a reason, motherfucker.
Damn it. He stole that from
By the way, the Jaguars, meanwhile, New Year's Day in a 1 p.m. game.
What? Were you going to say that, Eric? Were you literally about to say that?
Yes.
The New Year's Day game for the Jaguars will be at Houston. If they don't win that one, something is horribly wrong with the franchise.
Oh, nobody gives two shits. New Year's is too far away.
And they will wrap up the season hosting.
We're
Tennessee
talking
Titans.
about the Jets and the Jags right now.
I know. I was there.
Are we there?
Schedules. Thank you very much.
I mean, Harry's got a point. Are we? Are we? It turned
Okay, maybe
into-
we aren't, but who gives a...
It turned into another edition of Thursday Night Fuck This real quick.
Just over here on this side of the broadcast, instead of Al Michaels not giving a damn.
I mean, I'd argue they've already stopped giving a damn about this game.
I mean, I personally didn't have a dog in this fight. I attempted to keep things civil, but once we got through the actual BWSR stuff, I'll just let everybody know, unless you're interested in the chicanery afoot, once we finish the NIL conversation, cut the podcast.
A little late for that, Harry. A little late for that.
I'm just going to let people know if they listen. Once we finish the NIL conversation, unless you're interested in the shenanigans and chicanery that forth came afterwards, cut the podcast.
Yeah, save that for the notes later. More punting.
The
Let's see if
punting
the Jets-
is fierce.
The Jets are stuck inside of their own 5 off of that one.
Oh, you mad all of a sudden? You mad all of a sudden?
I don't think 18-3 would actually be a scoregami, would it?
I don't imagine so.
Mm-mm.
Because 18 is doable on multiple levels. You miss an extra point, 18's easy. Actually, you'd have to miss 2 extra points, but that's viable, especially in a game where weather's an issue, or miss 3 extra points off of 3 touchdowns, and that's 18 right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or just no kicks, 6 field goals.
That has happened in a game before.
What kind of a shape for a skating rink is that?
There was a Tennessee game when their kicker was my Baronis. I believe where he kicked 8 in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody fire this man.
That's where
I
we
had him
came
on my
up with the
fantasy,
nautical mile.
And I had him on my fantasy league. That was a good week.
My starting quarterback this week is Trevor Lawrence. It's a quarterback-heavy league, so his numbers will be prorated. I mean, granted, the fact that you guys have only scored 1 touchdown doesn't help.
Well, the fact that we've only needed to score 1 touchdown, that helps us. With fantasy, yeah. For fantasy owners, we apologize.
Streveler's they're gonna catch a face mask there on Streveler.
Mahomes this week, though, my God.
I don't know who I'm facing. I know I was like a 30-point favorite, so I should be okay. But yeah, Lawrence did not have his best game. In fairness, my backup is Andy Dalton, because my starter tore his ACL and I had to cut him. Okay, so your offensive line is going to get Streveler killed.
We anticipated
No,
this.
Streveler wanting to run the ball is going to get Streveler killed.
No, that was the case of no protection right there. He had 4 defenders on him by the time he went to release that football.
So, speaking of fantasy, actually, Erik,
Pocket did collapse on him very quickly.
I've got a question.
Quit stepping on my gimmick. No, he doesn't. Nope.
Yes, he does.
That's reserved.
Now, my fantasy league has a small custom scoring to it. It is 1/10 of a point per yard gained or lost. Outside of that, it's straight up ESPN defaults, as you know.
Okay. All right.
That is actually ESPN default. It's 1/10 of a yard.
Yeah, but we actually award the 10th. We don't do like 1 point per 10 yards. We actually
No,
break it down to
that's-
1/10.
That's
That's the default now.
it is on Yahoo.
But I don't know if it's on ESPN, though.
That's possible.
Well, we changed it years ago. It may have become the default since then. This is like the 8th year for this league. By that scoring regimen, who was number 1 last week?
Overall or by position?
All offensive players. I will tell you, because of how our
It has to be
league
Cousins,
scores,
right?
it's all quarterbacks.
It has to be
Has to
Cousins.
have been Cousins.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be Cousins. Yeah.
400.
1 p.m. Kirk Cousins at 68.
No!
And you can increment that counter, by the way.
I am.
Recovery by Jacksonville.
Who was number 2 last week?
Oh, that was pretty. That was so pretty. Thank you.
Oh, that is the most bullshit fumble I've ever
kicked
seen.
He kicked it.
That's why I look to you, Harry. Josh Allen.
I said it has to be
He
JA.
legitimately kicked the
62.1.
ball out of his fucking... Hold on. Can we shut up
Karate
on the
kick.
stat for a minute and talk about the fucking fumble?
Falcon kick.
He legitimately, as he was going down, kicks the goddamn ball
out of the guy's arm, and Jacksonville gets the recovery. That is some bullshit. That's got to be illegal. And if it isn't, why isn't it?
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
And to round out the top 5, Mahomes at 56.9, Trevor Lawrence 53.9, and Jalen Hurts, who is now feeling the hurt, out at 53.6. For the top non-running back, you'd have to go to Zay Jones with 31.9.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't run around a hotel room naked in Jacksonville like he did up in Buffalo.
Well,
now that's something that the mascot would probably do.
I mean, A, you're not wrong. B, we have specific hotels
Let's not get
to where
started on Jacksonville, okay?
Oh, we did.
B, there's
Cubic
specific hotels to where he could do that and get away with it. I am not saying that I have definitively been in some of those hotels doing certain things in certain neighborhoods, but that they do exist.
Hashtag Duval.
Duval?
I have in-ear headphones, jackasses.
I'm not doing.
He's got the headphones out.
I tried. I tried not to, but you see what I'm dealing with.
Next week's interesting game for you next week as well, Erik. Cowboys-Titans.
Yeah, I've already told my resident Cowboys fans, I need y'all to do me a huge solid.
So after beating them last week, now you're on their side for next Thursday.
You're damn straight. We gave you the blueprint. Now you know what to fix.
Harry?
Yes, sir?
You know what feels dirty? Week 18, I have to root for them. The damn hoodie.
No. You know what's that fucking kick fumble?
Why do you have to root for them against us? You need them to lose in order to knock them out of wild card positioning, dumbass.
Potentially.
So you're not. So again, to Harry's point, you need the Patriots to lose. Buffalo
But by that
losing.
point, we might be out of it anyway.
At which point you would potentially be fucking Buffalo out of home field advantage. Thanks, Dick. Appreciate it. Why did we let him on?
You're the one who said that he wasn't available as a resident Jets
watch
expert.
the conference burn.
I didn't think he was going to be here the whole time. I thought we were having him do a run-in and yeah.
Why is your player mean mugging the camera there, Watkins?
That's what we do.
That's a Jacksonville
It's a Duval thing. Yeah.
Looking like you're constipated while staring at a camera?
Yes.
It's called mean mugging, and yes.
No, that was I know a constipated face. Could I see one?
I mean, you can mean mug and be constipated too. You're probably
newer guys to Jacksonville still have to. Some of the newer guys. Erik will back me up on this. If you're new to the South, it takes a little bit of time to get your mean mugging face right.
He's not wrong. It's not just something that just happens overnight. You got to perfect it.
I would also not trust pooping most places in Jacksonville.
This is why we don't entirely trust the St. John's. Enough said.
True.
Ironic that they're called the Johns.
The St. John's River being the one that flows northward through Jacksonville.
I was more referring to the toilet also being referred to as a John.
No,
Yes.
The toilets are fine, but the river itself, because of said toilets and other things.
So basically what you're saying is if sewer gators are a thing, they're definitely in Jacksonville.
Which thankfully we can confirm that they're not.
that you know of.
The St. John's
I've been
doesn't
here-
go through Alachua, Gainesville, does it?
I've been
No.
here for nearly
Please.
30 years. We've had gator incidents. We've had snakes coming up in cars and snakes coming up through toilets. We don't have sewer gators.
And the river flows east of the Gator Nation.
Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Doo-doo.
Because literally, if you look at the map, and I'm going to put it in terms you know this area. The St. Johns River flows east of the Ocala National Forest. Like you take that State Road 19 up from like Tavares and Lake County area up to Jacksonville. The river is always on your east side. Therefore, Alachua County, which is home of the Gator Nation, to the west does not have the river flow through it. QED.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Lawrence gets knocked on his wallet there, but at this point, I don't think it matters.
Nah.
A fumble, Jacksonville recovered. Okay, yeah, I am behind.
Yep. 4th and 5.
He took a shot.
I mean,
Okay, he might have a he might have a valid case for roughing the passer there.
No, because the fact with the timing of how he got rid of the football,
right as he threw it is when he got hit.
But you could make the argument with the body weight situation.
The follow through, that's what I was referring to. Yeah.
Well, it's a no call, so.
But luckily, we go ahead, we kick a field goal, and they can have the ball the last 3 minutes and 49 seconds.
Technically speaking, it's still a 2-score game.
Yeah, implying that the Jets can score twice.
19-3. No, it's wait.
Yes, it is.
2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions at 16. That would tie it at 19, sir.
Yeah, 2 2-point conversions though.
No,
yes,
implying that you can score twice.
Yes, Mr. Espinosa, I just did the math for you.
I mean,
more specifically,
speaking of doing the math, there is a certain network special that is done once a year, right before week 18 around these parts. Isn't there, Mr. Watkins?
Oh God, this year it probably is going to be one with the way the wild card is going.
Yup. You want to make it official?
If situation warrants, then yes. Although I will say, kudos to the Sunday Night Football crew putting Steve Kornacki at the big board with teams' playoff chances. I love you for that maneuver.
The Football Night in America, where he goes over both of the conferences before the Sunday night game, is a fantastic addition. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Would make our lives a lot easier.
Well, it puts things in layman's.
Yeah, they're stepping up their.
It puts things in layman's for the casual fan too, so that way you know exactly what your team needs to do, and in terms of percentage of likelihood of winning your division, getting a playoff spot, or in our case, fighting for that all-important home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Because I can assure you, there isn't a team in the AFC that wants to come up to Buffalo in January.
Oh hell no. Or if the situation gets bad enough, have to go to Detroit.
I mean,
how?
Because of what happened with the Bills and the Browns earlier in the season.
Yeah.
The Lions have now won back-to-back games in Detroit, though, for the first time since 2016. It was kind of sad.
Active playoff droughts. Oh, you crazy Jets.
Swear, come up there to serve you a sandwich. You got 4 seconds to eat it. You.
Hey, I said at the beginning of the season that we could win 7 to 8 games this season, and right now we're 7-7. So we're doing better than what you guys predicted. That's for sure.
I think I said 5 wins.
I think
You said 5, and Erik said 4.
I was originally trying to be nice and say 7, but then I saw the schedule.
Yeah, this was supposed to be one of the easy ones.
Erik actually predicted this as a Jaguars.
This was supposed to be a.
Yeah, you both did.
This was supposed to be a.
I had to go big or
This
go
was
homer.
supposed to
This
be
gets to went homer.
This was supposed to be a.
How about your plane tickets to Ohio currently?
This was supposed to be.
Next say something while I'm talking is getting shot. Please believe that.
This was supposed to be a throwaway game, which is why it's on Thursday night Amazon Football.
Neither of these teams were supposed to be good this season.
Affectionately known as Thursday Night Fuck This in these parts. Yeah. That being said, I will take you back to our season preview episode that we did. Erik did predict this game as a Jaguars victory in that as well.
Patterson kicks 69 yards.
Nice. So 4 yards deep in the end zone?
With a 30-yard return.
Oh, he's wide open. Oh, he's wide open.
Did he catch it?
He meant for the run.
Streveler, 8 of 12 for what was that? 80 yards?
Yeah.
He's
got
doing
37. He's got 37 rushing. Well, before that run.
He's doing his best Josh Allen impression.
Yeah. I'm seeing a 7 of 11 for 68.
Yeah, you were behind.
Streveler is doing his best Josh Allen impression.
He's a Canadian Josh Allen.
Oh, Canada.
Look, even if the pocket's collapsing on him, if he can still keep getting those 8-9 yard runs.
I mean, it's the best offense.
He can be Josh. He can channel Josh Allen as much as he wants.
So
it's the best offensive drive you guys have put together this game so far.
Total yards, Jacksonville 368, Jets around 200. Passing 288 to 154, rushing 150 to 49. Yeah, that's your tail of the tape.
Can I go back to that bullshit Gators bowl game?
No.
We did not hit 100 total yards until the start of the fourth quarter.
Yes.
Pathetic.
You know what's equally pathetic?
I've said what I've said.
You know what's equally pathetic? Third down efficiency. Jaguars, 46%. Erik, let's play a little clock game. Higher or lower than 46%?
Lower.
Oh, no.
20.
Lower.
12.
Higher.
16.
15.
16.
I win.
Penalties, Jacksonville 3. Jets 9.
Including a pair of personal fouls for unnecessary roughness. So you guys have got to be pushing
the roughness when I go to Jacksonville and have to give this sandwich will be necessary.
Do you see how many nationally televised games there are this week? It's kind of glorious.
It's Christmas. Everything's going to be nationally televised because everybody's home.
Not to mention the NFL and the NBA are going to lock horns for the first time in decades, if ever.
1 tonight, 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, 1 on Monday for the NFL. So yes, you're getting actually not 3 on Saturday, 4 on Saturday.
So who of the scheduling gods decided the Saturday night game was going to be between two teams with losing records?
Immaculate Reception anniversary.
Rest in peace, Franco Harris.
Justifiable reason, despite the 6-8 records.
Not to mention, technically speaking, whomever wins that game jumps you guys in the playoff standings at this rate.
Oh, God. No. Do not be hurt. No, not now. Not now.
Who is that?
May that game not end in a tie.
Smoot, our defensive.
Oh, that happened non-contact.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
No, that was before. No, that wasn't from contact. He lost.
That's what I said. I said non-contact when he went to burst off the line.
Yeah, he was planted wrong. Like you can see it. He's planted wrong. He torn it. Oh, I hope that's not a torn ACL.
Motherfucker, no.
Yeah,
no.
It's
He's
bad.
not coming back tonight.
Well, there's only 1:40 left in the game, but I'm pretty
I don't
sure.
mind tonight. Oh, God, I can tell. Oh, God, that grimace on his face. Oh, motherfucker.
Shades of Vinny pounding the turf. I can't see. I need description.
John,
is it Testaverde pounding the turf level bad?
That's.
I'm not going to speak it. I'm not speaking it into the universe. Get the MRI. Get the MRI. Get the MRI.
I'll put it to you this way: tears in his eyes as he's on the ground.
Yep. That's okay. That's something you never want to see.
And especially not at the tail end of a game that's not close.
What the hell is that guy doing yelling at people?
Which guy? Who? I'm behind, apparently.
The guy in the blue in the stands, in the blue jacket.
How fucking far behind am I? I'm looking at 1:30 left on the clock.
You must have missed it because I didn't see it either.
I'm looking at 1:35.
Well, it doesn't matter because the Jags are in victory formation. This game's over.
Yep.
I'm sorry, 118.
They cut it right after that play, right after Smoot going off the field. They cut to the guy yelling in the stands. Then the updated standings, and then victory formation.
Yeah, we missed it. But
for my fellow Jets fans, there's only one question that needs to be answered now as this is going official. Are we eliminated from playoff contention yet?
Officially, no, but it's not looking good. It's going to depend on the results of the weekend. The results of this weekend, by weekend's end, you might be. A Miami win will eliminate you. Because I'm pretty sure they won your first. No, you guys beat Miami head-to-head when you guys played them earlier in the year because Tua was out that game.
Mm-hmm.
We're very good at splitting.
Have you played Miami twice or just once so far this year?
Once. We faced them at the end.
Week 18. So technically speaking, you got to hope Miami falls apart.
Yeah.
Did you lose both games to
Miami?
the Patriots?
Wait. Is Miami at Green Bay or down?
No, you said you got to hope Miami falls apart. I'm saying again.
Green Bay at Miami.
Damn.
Holy shit. That's a stat for you. Can I get the squid bit for the on-air graphic?
2 straight road wins for the first time since 2017 for Jacksonville.
And you know what happened in 2017?
No, that was directed at me, hence the response. That was the year Jacksonville beat Buffalo wild card weekend.
Oh, not just the fact that we beat Buffalo wild card weekend. That
And
year
that-
we made it to the AFC Championship.
Because you went to Pittsburgh in divisional weekend and beat them in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh
This
playoffs.
close to being the Patriots because of them damn refs and Miles Jack.
Hey, if Nick Folk made his kick when we faced Pittsburgh, Jets would have made Super Bowl.
I remember a couple of years ago when Buffalo beat the Jets the last week of the regular season to put Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Final week of the regular season can make some strange bedfellows in the NFL.
Well, my
Oh,
girlfriend at the time was a Steelers fan, and let's just say I was thanked properly.
I would have hoped so.
Giddy.
All right. Disappointment. My name is Jets fans. However, where can people find you on socials?
At JTN 2002, pretty much everywhere. Except if you're going to Instagram, you got to tack the NY at the end.
Mr. Espinoza?
I
Mr.
think I
Sad
might need to
Panda?
go in there and throw a bottle in his direction.
Mr. Sad Panda?
If you throw a bottle at me again, that hits me.
I got to get your attention
gonna
for
be-
the.
We're going to have to clear both of them off the screen. Domestic
where?
violence is not a W2M network exclusive. Or, God damn it.
I mean, technically,
Cue the horns.
Old habits. Old
Cue the
habits
horns.
die
This man
hard.
earned the horns. Go ahead.
Old habits die.
Not pleased. Go ahead. Hit the button. I can't hit the button.
Old habits die hard.
Fools up there has to hit the button for this one. I can do it.
Old habits.
Nielsen, shut the hell up. We get it. Hit the button. You don't have to say it 85
I wasn't
times.
meaning that button. I was queuing.
No,
queue up to Bob Barker, but okay.
I know why they hit that button because that was Freudian, shall we say?
Yes.
And leaving
Yes.
it that. Where can people find you online, Brian?
What are you at Not a Network Pods, anywhere you can search popular streaming media. Come watch our shows. I'm on several of them. And the ones that I'm not on, I
and yell things like "fuck Kirk Cousins" because fuck Kirk Cousins.
1 p.m.
Goddamn
Kirk
1
Cousins
p.m.
specifically.
Kirk Cousins.
oh, that's
that-
an extra 2 for the road.
I was going to say, is that 2?
That's 2.
That's 2.
That's a twofer.
That's definitely 2.
So, in other words, it's a Kirk Cousins safety.
No, it's a 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins octopus. Because now
Oh, we got the 2-point conversion.
Matt's at his jersey number, baby.
Well, that feels like as good a place to stop as any, Watkins. Where can they find you?
If you want to follow me in my own levels of live tweeting and various bits of chicanery at Squid Sportshead. If you want to follow different bits of chicanery, slide into my DMs, undergo a strict and thorough vetting process. Otherwise, like he said, at Not a Network Pods on Twitter and other bunch of different places. I'm on a whole bunch of shows here myself.
wow. I'm
And
shocked.
Harry, if anybody's got any hate mail, where can they send it?
No.
Don't placate that. Can I just say that I am shocked because Thursday Night Football, the post game show, right? Just in general, they have had them guys out there in 20-degree cold ass snow, flurry falling weather, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little bit of rain right now at the Meadowlands, and they got them upstairs in a skybox.
Well, I mean, in fairness, they were on the field for the pregame show.
And in fairness,
No,
it's New
it's
Jersey.
I was going to say they started on field in the pregame, and then
Current temperature 47 degrees. Just be
my
glad they're
point
not
is
playing tomorrow night with
they've had them do the
Tomorrow night when it goes down to 10.
My point is they've had them out in the elements every other damn game this season. A little tiny little bit of rain. All right, we're going upstairs. Get in the press box.
They were tired. Honestly, they were bored at the game at that point. They were like, "We're out of here. We don't want to watch anymore."
They probably did get bored of that game. It was, to be honest, it was a little bit of a boring game. Anyways, something about this haven't been the show at Not a Network Pods. If we don't have a show between now and Christmas, have a Merry Christmas from all of us. It's literally, this is all of us here at the Not a Network Network.
Is he trying to take over my end of the show? Is that what's happening here?
I believe you did just get fully stepped on.
Yes.
Fuck it. I'm out. See ya.
I mean, technically, he's going to have last word anyway, so.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Broadhurst-Watkins Sports Report. Sports in black and white. A presentation of the Not a Network Podcast Network. Available online via most major streaming services.